Hello and welcome back to Euro Football Daily Armchair Fans, where we are live streaming Spurs away at Ajax in the second leg of their Champions League semi-final. Massive game. Joining me today, Sam Obaseki. How are you feeling, mate?
I'm good, man.
Yeah?
Hoping Ajax, get a win.
Do the business for you London boys.
Yeah, I need that.
Can't handle it. And Joe, how are you feeling, mate?
I'm feeling confident from an Ajax perspective.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I've not been impressed by Tottenham at all in recent weeks, particularly on the road. I'm obviously also supporting Ajax tonight. Just hope they do the job, get the job done, and then really praying they can do the dirty over Liverpool in Madrid.
Praying from a Man United perspective. And Temps, can you explain what you're up to tonight?
I am asking your questions, so put them in the live chat below. I've also got some from Twitter and I've got some from Discord as well. So keep them coming in.
Perfect. So get those questions coming in. We are about 15 minutes away from kickoff. Adam Templeman, let's kick off. What is the first question?
The first question, let's go straight into Big Virgil, who says, Big Virgil, isn't it? What talent should Ajax bring in to replace their outgoing talents?
Oh, Joe, as our Ajax expert, what are you thinking? This is tricky.
A lot of them are irreplaceable. Let's start with that. Frankie de Jong and Matthias de Ligt, if they do indeed leave, as the reports indicate, obviously Frankie's already gone to Barcelona, that's been announced, but if Matthias leaves as well too, probably Barcelona, although that does seem a little bit shakier over recent weeks. I think they're pretty much irreplaceable. They're kind of generational talents, in particular Frankie de Jong. So won't be easy to replace them. But having said that, I would imagine they'll look towards the youth academy. I think something really interesting that's happened over the last couple of years is since Mark Overmars has come in, obviously not been afraid of hammering through the change. Got rid of Kaiser, got rid of Bergkamp. Scrapped the salary cap at Ajax as well, which is a really interesting move. Before they had a salary cap, which means obviously players can't earn too much money.
I wasn't aware of that. Interesting.
Mark Overmars came in, said we're not doing this anymore. It's too old hat, and that allowed him to sign players like Daley Blind, Dusan Tadic, also give improved deals to players like Hakim Ziyech in hopes of keeping them at the club. So I think for Mark Overmars, don't just expect young players to be signed either to take over these positions. If Matthias de Ligt is to leave, I wouldn't be surprised to see him dip in and look for a centre-back option that's a little bit older. The profile's more 26, 27 sort of age. But for Frankie, I think he's irreplaceable. I don't think it's possible to sign a player that does nearly as much as he does for this team. Because if you sign a defensive midfielder to break up play, you just sign that. Frankie does everything: a centre-back's job, a centre-mid's job, an attacking midfielder's job, and a striker's job. That's how influential he is.
He's awesome.
Irreplaceable. As for Matthias de Ligt, I think they can replace him, and I think they'll probably looking at about £150 million worth of windfall for two players. So they've got plenty of money to reinvest. It's just whether or not they choose to reinvest that in the squad as a whole or one individual position.
Yeah, I think you're right. He definitely thinks outside the box. I mean, look at the signing of Dusan Tadic, unwanted at Southampton, signed him for a relatively cheap £15 million in the global market. But for Ajax, that's actually quite a lot of money. They don't tend to go big in the transfer market. And look how it's come off, over 50 goal involvements. Sam, from a Chelsea perspective, unfortunately you can't sign any Ajax players this summer. But would something like Hakim Ziyech be interesting to you, hypothetically?
Yeah, but
What do you mean, yeah?
No, but you know what it is?
100%.
You know what it is? That league and that team is very different to the Chelsea setup, innit? There's a bigger pressure, I think, that comes with players coming from like leagues that is just not the Premier League, coming to a team like Chelsea. Like, I think they will struggle a little bit with the pressure, with Hazard possibly leaving.
Definitely leaving.
Possibly leaving. So obviously that pressure of being the next big thing at Chelsea is going to be a lot. But I think he's really good. I don't think he would be the player that I would go to if I was going to like get a player from Ajax. Yeah.
But he'd be round the bounce.
I think, I don't know whether this is true, but I have read a few reports that he might have a €25 million buyout clause.
I've seen that as well, yeah.
In which case he definitely is the player to get out of
Absolute
Ajax.
steal, I know. I mean, Spurs potentially, if they lose Christian Eriksen this summer, which looks increasingly likely, they'll probably be looking at someone like Ziyech as a possible replacement. But Sam, from a Spurs perspective, I know this is difficult for you.
Yeah.
How confident are you that Spurs can go through tonight?
I think they're more confident that now Son's playing because I think he's got like 50% of their goals in the Champions League this season, which is actually mad.
That is mad.
So now that they've got him, they're going to be a bit more confident. Sissoko's playing and he's been doing a madness.
He has, hasn't
so Sissoko, Ericsson, Ali, Son and Moura up top. Like, I think they'll be confident going into the game. And obviously if it's Vertonghen starting, that's going to give them confidence as well. So I think if they start the first 10, 15 minutes strong and like not even just get a goal, but just show that they've got attacking intent and are putting pressure on Ajax, they'll be all right.
Yeah, I totally agree, because it was the first 10, 15 minutes in that first leg that Ajax completely dominated, which was kind of unexpected away from home. But they have actually struggled at home this season. They lost to Real Madrid and drew with Juventus. So, I mean, comparatively compared to their away form, and they could be only the fourth team in Champions League history to go through to the final with more away wins than home wins. So we'll see what they're like in the Amsterdam Arena tonight. But just a quick reminder that the last time me and Adam Templeman were on a Spurs stream even, there were 7 goals. And it was one of the Champions League epic games. So we're hoping for more from that, more sort of like that tonight. Temps, what is your next question? What are the people saying?
Next question is from Charlie, who says, what do you think will be the more fairy tale ending, Ajax or Spurs in the final?
Ajax, 100%.
What do you mean? There is no fairy tale to Tottenham Hotspur getting into the Champions League final.
What's the fairy tale?
Playing devil's advocate, there's a good journey from Spurs.
Yeah,
I mean,
they've signed no player.
They haven't signed no player. They haven't signed any players.
Kane injured.
They don't have the same wage bill or transfer budget. They've moved into a £1 billion stadium. But in terms of a fairy tale, there can only really be Ajax, I think. Would be absolutely remarkable. I can't remember an underdog victor quite like it, at least this century. Maybe going back to maybe Valencia in the early parts. But who knows really. What's that?
Sorry, that advert.
Sounds like she's laughing at a TV advert.
I thought it was something I said.
no, stop.
Fair. So that's our answer. Ajax is the bigger fairy tale.
Yeah, I completely agree. Ajax. By the way, if you heard some movement around the studio, people are dragging tables in the studio above us about the floor. So apologies for that. I think it has stopped now.
Fair. And just a reminder, before we go into our next question, if you are new to Eurofootball Daily, please subscribe to the channel. We do live streams like this all the time, really hotting up towards the end of this year in the Champions League. We'll hopefully be doing the Champions League final as well. So subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell to never miss a video. And Temps, what is the next question?
Next question is from Tamish, who says, will this year count as one of the best Champions League seasons of all time?
Joe, what are your thoughts?
I'll be honest, my memory is not good enough to answer this question. I think people that say it is just a lie, isn't it? I think it's obviously been an exceptional season. There have been some huge moments, but I mean, you probably were saying the same thing last season when Ronaldo had just scored an overhead kick. Gareth Bale scores one of the greatest Champions League final goals of all time.
Very true.
It's a good point.
So I think year on year, you probably...
I think we'd need amazing finals to get that.
Well,
but there has been some great upsets.
I don't know what...
I mean, look at United going through against PSG. Liverpool overturning 4 legs. 4 goals.
But Roma last year was a bit more
last year.
Yeah, true.
And there's
some
always,
great commentary.
like in 2017, you go back when Barcelona came back 6-5 against PSG. Like these happen every year, so it's hard to say. Like you said on your Twitter the other day, Temps, didn't you? This is basically now got to the stage where it's scripted.
It feels scripted. It all feels too good to be true. Like 4-0 last night, no way. Just no.
Yeah, we've got to touch on that.
And it happens every season,
We've got to touch on that game. I mean, were you guys both watching? Sam, what did you make of it?
Barca bottled it, man. I think their defence just bottled it, like, completely. And it's sad because I really wanted Messi to just win the Champions League, but he can't do it all. And fair enough, he had opportunities to score goals, but the defending for some of the goals for Liverpool were just... it's the semi-final. How are you going to be so switched off at a corner and then be putting your hands for offside? Like, how does that correlate? Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me, innit? Like, it was really bad from Barca's point of view, and I think he kind of shot himself in the foot playing Dembele on the weekend because he got injured, and they needed a player like Dembele to be
someone
playing.
to stretch him.
Yeah,
I tend to agree. I thought some of Liverpool's goals were pretty basic from Barcelona's perspective in terms of to concede like that. Particularly that Trent Alexander, an incredible corner routine. I haven't seen a team at the top level.
Well.
Haven't seen a team at the top level defend like that ever. Remarkable comeback. I mean, Joe, as a United fan, you've deactivated your Twitter You're offline now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's
So
the-
not.
how's the
What?
day? How's the
No,
day?
you
been?
haven't.
No, I haven't literally deactivated, but I've
He's taking
I
a step back.
tweeted yesterday said I'm deactivating. Until
Why?
summer.
Why?
Why?
Oh, 'cause
Because what do you
Liverpool.
mean? Liverpool are about to win a Champions League. Man City are winning a league title. Leeds are in the hunt for promotion. Nothing has gone right. Either way, yeah. Hats off to Liverpool, man.
That was a
I
brilliant
wouldn't be.
comeback,
I
though.
wouldn't be surprised though if that's the end of Valverde. I think that
It has to be.
probably the end of Valverde
Has to
last
be.
night. Whether or not he wins the league, Barca fans don't care. It's about the style of football in the Champions League for them. So, I think that might well have been the end of Allegri, of Valverde, particularly if Allegri is leaving Juve.
Yeah.
2 years in a row. That's very bad.
Yeah, because what was it? 4-1 to Roma last year, the first leg lead, and then they lost 3-0 in the Stadio Olimpico. 3-0 up at the Nou Camp, lose 4-0. Just shocking Champions League results, which doesn't really cut it of a club of that stature. But to be fair, other managers also failed. They haven't now made a Champions League final since 2015. It's going on. The wait is going on. But Joe, you mentioned there briefly, is there some news on Allegri? I mean, we sort of heard it as we came on the air, so you might not know that much about it. But
I know very little other than what Mikey McCubbin has put in the Football Daily group chat, which could well be a total lie. But he basically said that Allegri looks to be leaving Juventus. Now, we've talked about Allegri leaving Juventus on the Sunday Vibes Extra Time podcast in the past. If you haven't already listened, go and download that. It's available in all the usual podcast places. I said, I made an impassioned 20-minute speech about Allegri being the right man for Barcelona. Being
Really?
the perfect fit for Barcelona.
Cut it down to like a few points.
Very hard to cut it down, but extremely adaptable, successful everywhere he's been. I think 5 domestic doubles on the bounce at Juventus, winning a Scudetto at Milan before that, the youngest ever manager to win a Scudetto, and that was with Milan. I think he'd be the perfect man to come in and reinstate the balance on the European occasion. Okay, he hasn't necessarily proved it by winning trophies, but 2 finals with Juventus with no marked superstar in the same way that he would have a Messi at Barcelona, or the same way he had Ronaldo this season.
Yeah.
I think if you were to put him in this Barcelona team with Frankie arriving, with Matthias de Ligt arriving, with a summer overhaul, Lionel Messi arguably producing one of his greatest ever seasons, that suddenly becomes an incredibly scary team next year. I don't get me wrong, I don't mind Valverde. He's a fine coach, and he has.
the Barcelona fans think differently.
Yeah.
But he's so far
His
got
team
by on the
selection is
fact
weird,
he's
man.
got by on the fact that Messi is the greatest player in the history of football and will score him 40 to 60 goals every year.
I was reading a lot of Twitter complaints today about people just hammering him and his insistence on picking Rakitic over Arthur in the first half of this year, and his insistence on playing Rakitic more recently. as
Coutinho.
well.
Just a
as
point, going on to this game, sorry. Why is Dolberg starting?
That was
Dolberg, I
about
just
to
seen
say.
him
He's
in the
starting,
lineup.
yeah.
Has somebody been injured in the
He
warm-up?
wasn't in the lineup initially,
me
which
Google
we've
it.
got down
I'm
here,
going
at
on
least an
Twitter.
hour beforehand, but it looks like Kasper Dolberg is lining up in the tunnel to face Spurs. So we're not really sure on that. And also, you guys have more access to the internet than we do on this live stream. If you've got any news
useless.
on what's going on with Allegri, please get it in the comments below. We'd love to hear.
So what's happened is David Neres appears to have injured himself in the
really?
warm-up,
that's a
and
big
Kasper
loss.
Dolberg has come in. I mean, it is and isn't a big loss for people who don't watch much Ajax. Generally, the way that Ten Hag has operated is in the Champions League, he's used Dusan Tadic as his 9 and then flanked him with Ziyech and Neres. But in the league, in the Eredivisie, he's operated almost exclusively with one of Dolberg and Huntelaar starting every single game. The pair of them between them, I think, have
Tadic
got
coming off of there.
26 goals, something like that. I think Dolberg's got 11 or 12 in the Eredivisie alone. So this isn't by any means an unusual system for Ajax. You'll probably just see Dusan move out to the left-hand side, Ziyech maintain the right-hand side, and then Dolberg operate as an out-and-out 9. The one thing he does give you is a bit more presence up front. The one thing you lose is that sort of ability in between the lines and ability in and around the edge of the box against a deep block, which is arguably not what Tottenham are going to play anyway. So I think Dolberg will be absolutely fine coming into this game. He's also he looks like a Ken doll. Dolberg, don't you think?
He looks very
Wait.
plastic.
Wait, so is Neres out of like even subs? Or is he just-
I'm not sure whether he's out of the subs, but he's 100% the guy that's been
starting.
replaced in the first
Yeah, because
team.
he looked dangerous in that first leg. I mean, he could have really made it pretty difficult for Spurs to come back with that shot that hit the post in that first leg. So I think it is a loss for Ajax, but as Joe makes a very good point, Dolberg's got plenty of experience. He's played in a Europa League final for Ajax beforehand. Hasn't played as much this year as he probably would have hoped, but that's through Ajax's own success. And, people have got to remember this Ajax team are on for a treble. They've already got one trophy in the bag at the weekend. They beat Willem in the Dutch Cup or whatever
4-0 as well. Watch the highlights of that beforehand.
Really dominant.
Walkover.
So we've got the lineup here, Joe. Do you want us to talk us through the main threats?
So they've got Tadic still starting as a 10. I'd expect Tadic to move out to that left-hand side and Dolberg occupy the central space. Van den Beek will obviously operate in between the lines as he did away at the new Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, yet to be named. And then pretty much the same team as you would expect. On the weekend, they didn't I think Tagliafico played on the right, but then I actually think they moved their regular right back into central midfield. So I think he'll still be fine. He'll still be totally confident with the exclusion of David Neres through injury and the inclusion of Kasper Dolberg at the last minute. I still think it's going to be 2-0 to Ajax.
You don't think Spurs are going to score at all?
Oh, but talk us through the Spurs lineup.
So obviously,
who should
the
the fans be watching out for?
Rose, Vertonghen, Alderweireld and Trippier at the back. But obviously, Vertonghen coming back is a big bonus. Dele Alli, Wanyama, Sissoko, Eriksson, Son and Lucas. They'll obviously be happy to have Son back. But I think the team looks strong, man. With Sissoko in, Wanyama seems a bit more confident when he's playing beside him. And Dele Alli has a bit more freedom to get forward. So I think they'll be confident to start the game strong, but
definitely a few more options on the bench as well. With Lamella coming back as well, they've got Llorente, so they can mix it up. I mean, in that first leg, it seemed like they were a bit threadbare. So let's see what they can deliver tonight. But lads, we need a prediction before we kick off.
3-1. I'm gonna stick to it. 3-1 Ajax.
Ajax. You said. Did you say 2-0?
I think 2-0 to Ajax.
I am going to continue the shocks. I'm going to go with a 3-1 Spurs away win. And Temps, what do you think?
I'm going to change mine to 2-1 to Ajax. I think Spurs will score.
Oh, God.
Guys, make sure you're getting your predictions in the comments below and make sure you're subscribing to Eurofootball Daily if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell as well. Temps, next question as we kick off.
Our next question is from Tamish again, who says, can Liverpool repeat this season in the coming seasons, or is this their best chance at becoming Premier League and Champions League double winners?
I think they're just getting stronger and stronger, and it's not gonna play like if they go into the transfer window. Why would a player not go to the Liverpool now with the project that they have set up? Like, it's so appealing
over the other top six except for City. I tend to agree.
But that is the big thing, isn't it? Except for City. Like,
City can't get everyone.
My problem is that Liverpool are currently overperforming at this level. Like, they are, like, the stats suggest it. I think we can all agree they've been incredibly lucky not to get an injury to one of their front three all season. I think
Firmino's been injured for a fair chunk of it.
No, for their front three, I said.
Yeah, exactly. Firmino has been injured for a fair chunk of it.
I'm not so sure. I mean, comparatively to Man City missing Kevin De Bruyne, Fernandinho for about 30% of the games.
Yeah.
I think like John Stones has only started less than 20 games, I believe.
I mean, but then they've lost Gomez, they've had Alexander-Arnold. I don't quite buy the argument that Liverpool have had it completely scot-free with injuries.
Yeah, they haven't.
Salah and Mane have played nearly every game, and they're two key men. But Naby Keita's been in and out the side.
Yeah, for sure. I think my argument would be is that so let's say last season Kevin De Bruyne was Man City's Player of the Year.
Yeah.
So if you gave that season-long injury to Mo Salah or Virgil van Dijk, what do you think it ends up the same?
100% no. But then I've never argued that Liverpool have a stronger squad than Man City. But can they repeat this? Yeah, it would seem so.
Do you think they can go 96 points again next season?
I honestly, unless the rest of the top six strengthens significantly, I think Man City and Liverpool are such a cut ahead above the rest.
Oh, for sure. I couldn't agree with that.
I can see them getting close to 90 points. Maybe not 96 points again, but City, I think, will be over 90 points again.
That's the trouble, though, isn't it? That's the trouble. Is City are going to get 95+ points again.
Yeah. I mean, but we don't know. All I'm saying is that Liverpool might not win the league this year, but I think they'll be heavily competing for it next year. I don't think this is a one-off season. They've reached back-to-back Champions League finals. They're only the fourth team to do that this century, I think. Man United and Bayern and obviously Real Madrid have done it. So there's all the bedrock of that side are still there on long-term contracts as well. None of the top. The front three, their contracts are all lasting until at least 2021.
The team perfectly set up.
They seem to love playing for Klopp. I think it's going to be a healthy period. Obviously, they're going to be competing for Champions League football with, competing for the league title even with Man City. But there's no reason why they can't keep it going, in my opinion.
I think they'll definitely keep it going. But my trouble is that I think they're like in terms of, I get they've really, really crushed it this season in terms of numbers. I still think they've probably taken, he's in, probably taken like 10 points more than they should have.
Yeah.
And I don't think I
go on.
goal.
Good block.
And I don't think you can say the same of City.
Is that Wanyama? It was a good block from Wanyama.
Like,
good shot.
I don't see Liverpool only losing one game next season.
No.
I don't see Chelsea, Arsenal, United being as bad as they were this season, next season. They have to improve.
Yeah, they have to improve.
There's no way they
get
it
But
worse.
Liverpool will improve as well, man. Spurs play such a high line. They are so
Look
exposed.
at the space.
Yeah, they're very exposed.
Why are they so
Go on,
exposed?
Punish them.
That's a great save.
Massive
Joe,
save.
talk us through this Ajax move.
Massive save. So it's switched out to the left-hand side. Dusan Tadic has the overlapping run of Tagliafico, and Trippier doesn't really know whether to go or stay.
Yeah.
Dusan Tadic eventually gets a shot off. It does take a deflection off Trippier, but then a brilliant Hugo Lloris save.
Put perfect
Great
height for
save.
Lloris though.
It takes a deflection though. That deflection does take.
I thought he'd hit into the ground.
What's happened to Trippier though? Like, he's fallen off.
Mate, he's moving to Napoli. I don't know
Do you
how.
reckon that's going to happen?
Genuinely,
that's
it's
going
in
to happen?
all the papers. His wife's already been to Naples, been seen scouting it out.
His wife's been on holiday.
His wife's been on holiday, now he's moving to Napoli.
That'd
No,
be
seriously,
mad.
Ancelotti is really interested in Kieran Trippier. I don't know why.
Come on.
Big game,
Come on.
big players, man.
What a
Start by
What a
Dominic.
start.
It's all gone wrong for
Do you know the
Spurs
thing
already.
is
Love
though?
that.
You can see that a mile away. As soon as he separated from his marker and just drifted onto
he's
his
so strong,
He
man.
just looked a foot above his marker.
He's so strong.
Right, Joe, talk us through this goal.
So the ball is swung in. I'm not actually sure who took the corner.
Ziyech, was it?
Might have been Mazraoui. I'm not too sure. But either
Look who was on him. Look who was on him. Trippier was on him, you know, and he left him completely.
Three Spurs
Look
defenders
at
ended
him.
up running into each other.
Look at that. That's embarrassing.
Brilliant.
That's embarrassing.
It's
defending.
quality by Van den Beek though. Van den Beek blocks Jan Vertonghen's run, which means he can't track his man. Either way, it's awful defended by Tottenham Hotspur.
That was poor from Trippier.
Great
It's funny.
start.
Oh,
They are checking it.
A VAR check on this?
No,
Really?
it's a goal.
It's a
There you
goal.
go.
Drama.
Yeah.
Oh no, damn it. Oh, 1-0 Ajax. So Spurs will need, well, it doesn't really change it. They'll need 2 goals to go through, but it's just made it that much harder.
Yeah.
Absolutely mental.
Look at Frankie, man.
They are all,
Frankie!
they are all over Spurs in these early
You gotta
stages.
love it.
Temps, what are the people making
Oh
of
my
this
God.
crazy
Love it.
Ajax start?
There's just a lot of. There's actually loads of Ajax
It's
fans
literally
in our
gone-
chat, but I think that's every neutral.
Welcome,
sort of
Dutch
time.
League. Please subscribe
Subscribe.
to your Football Daily, good man.
Subscribe.
People are asking how this team compares to Monaco of 2 years ago.
Better.
When they had Kylian
They're
Mbappe
better.
and
They're a better
Wow.
team.
Such a good
They're
question,
They're a better
actually.
team. I think.
I would argue.
they're a better overall team.
Yeah.
I think
agree.
Monaco probably
seem
had
a
better
bit more
individuals.
mature.
if I'm
You
honest.
say they're
Yeah.
you say they're a better overall team. Look at the players that have left that Monaco team now.
Mendy, Bernardo Silva,
Bernardo
Hello,
Silva.
they're back in here.
Lamar.
Oh God!
Oh my days!
Right,
Kylian
Umber,
Mbappe.
talk us through what
Son
happened
was
there.
literally,
I'm so
drove down the
confused.
line and just shot out of the blue, and it came off the post, and then yeah.
There's 2
I
men
don't know
following
what
it through, but it didn't,
how did
quite
someone
come
get
to
that
I'm
ball
not quite
across?
sure what happened in the build-up, but this has been a mental start to the game.
How did he get that shot across?
Right, Ericsson,
handball.
just calm it down.
I don't know.
I'm not. We need to see a replay of that because he seemed to just, with ease,
It
be
looked
at the back stick all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Comes off the post
Yeah, it
and
looked
then
like-
it
No, but it looked like a
rebounds
shot
and 2
cross.
Spurs players trying to follow it
It
through.
did look like a shot, yeah.
They've started. That goal's kicked him into action a little bit.
Yeah,
That's
But
not
they've
foul.
started
That's not
slow,
foul.
man. Just go back to that Monaco point. I think we're saying that now because of the Monaco team were outrageous. They were so good to watch. And you know, we talk about Mbappe being like the best young talent in world football. Why is Trippier marking De Ligt, by the way?
But how easy was it to get off
That
him
is
though?
awful.
That is terrible defending, yo.
Yeah, I think Dele Alli is going to get a bit of blame for that as well because he gets outlet, but that is completely Trippier's fault in my book.
Dele.
He's appealing.
So early as
He's
well.
appealing, but when there's nothing to appeal for, just mark your man first, clear the ball, then appeal. So basic.
That is poor.
tragic
We literally
start,
said if they start the first 10 minutes strong, and they've done the complete opposite.
Exactly.
madness.
But no, I mean, just to wrap up the Monaco point, I mean, Monaco did have exceptional individuals.
But like De Jong and Mbappe.
Oh,
I
100%.
get that Mbappe is better, but De Jong is.
Oh no, I was about to say, I actually think Monaco were the slightly better side.
Who did they end up going out to?
They got to the semi-finals and then lost to, I'm not quite sure.
Real Madrid?
Potentially Real Madrid.
Real Madrid.
But look at the teams that this side has beaten.
But they also beat Man City, Pep's Man City.
Yeah, but that wasn't just like a strong Pep.
It wasn't last year's Man City, it was the year before. Yeah, you make a good point.
But Real Madrid were at their absolute strongest.
Yeah, but still, Juve with Ronaldo, like.
Oh, that's a potential red card.
They
I don't know. I think it's difficult to sum it up. I think Ajax have had the better run and the better results, but I actually think Monaco maybe had the better individuals. I
think I probably agree with that.
Yeah.
It's very hard to compare them, though, isn't it?
Right, big chance for Spurs here. Sam, what you reckon?
Hello.
Oh, Dele Alli. Oh.
Right, Spurs really need to get well, they've actually got a foothold in the early stages of this game, but that first goal is just so damaging to morale and their hopes. But a long way to go yet. It's still 82 odd minutes.
Sissoko,
Trippier's getting a lot of space on the right, isn't he?
Sonny is just ball hunting now, isn't he? Like, just get the ball to
you can
Son.
tell, innit?
That's the tactic.
He's keen. Right, Temps, what are the people saying?
Next question is from Eshwa, who says,
Hey,
what's happened to Kasper Dolberg in the last 2 years? Has he lost his way?
Joe, is our Ajax expert?
I think you're being a little bit harsh on Kasper. Obviously had an exceptional breakout season when he reached the Europa League final, but they've kind of changed mould a little bit in that they don't necessarily need the point man, but still scored 11 goals in the Eredivisie this season. Not bad for a 21-year-old, 20-year-old.
Still so young, exactly.
Plenty of time to improve even further. He's split in minutes with Klaas-Jan Huntelaar as well, who's had an exceptional season. I think he's got 16 in the league. So don't just because he's so young, he's probably scored.
Challenge!
Look at
What
Frankie,
a challenge!
man. What a freak!
What a challenge!
Freaky de Jong.
Do you think that was a bad touch by Son, but great challenge?
He's probably got around the same amount of goals as Marcus Rashford. So I take it with a pinch of salt. Dele, great chance.
But talk me through the last minute and a half.
Eriksen literally found space out of nowhere, passed it to Dele Alli, and he's kind of shot it wide, but.
They're finding a bit of space in the middle of Spurs. They've actually responded reasonably well since going behind.
Ajax look quite open.
Yeah, they do. This is why Liverpool are going to tear them apart in the final. It's going to be gutting.
I just worry about that. Yeah, that Liverpool midfield, just the way they just throbbed all around Barcelona's midfield last night. Any poor touch, they were straight on it. I just don't know whether Ajax have played a team like Liverpool yet. If they do go through to the final, obviously this is a long way to go yet, but. I could just see Liverpool really turning over Ajax, especially if they play anywhere like they did last night. And bear in mind, they didn't have Salah and Firmino last night as well.
Get at him. Goal. Ooh. When Ziyech comes in on that left-hand side, on his left foot, it's so hard to stop, isn't it?
I'm excited to see a bit more of Tagliafico tonight, because obviously he's getting pretty heavily linked to the likes of Arsenal and Spurs, actually. So this is another chance to sort of... put forward his own case. And I don't think Ajax will be so concerned about losing him as some other players. He's 26, he's Argentine, he's not an academy graduate. They place such a big benefit on their academy graduates. I think you can more easily replace Tagliafico than you can a lot of other players in that team.
I think on the surface of it, yes, but he is hugely influential off the pitch. I think he's the second captain behind De Ligt.
Is he? God, that shows how young their side is.
Yeah, so I think it's him and Daley Blind are sort of like the second captains behind the league. So if they do, I would be surprised. I don't think they'll want to let Tagliafico go, and they probably hold more cards with him, having taken 100+ million from 2 other players.
I'm not saying they'll want to sell him. I'm just saying that if offers came in for him over the likes of Ziyech or
do you think they're gonna get do you think they're gonna get raided like Monaco though?
Yeah,
because I don't know, man.
De Ligt definitely.
If they lose 2 players, fair enough. But to lose like five or 6,
I think so, mate.
I think you're all over the rumours. You must have seen Van der Beek's even getting linked to Real Madrid.
Yeah, he's been linked to Arsenal as well. I don't think they'll lose as many players as Monaco did. I think a lot of players will stay a little bit more loyal to this club. I think just because of the difference between Monaco and Ajax is the fan base as well.
Yeah,
the fan base is huge in Ajax.
Yeah,
it's like a nice club to be at.
You make a good point. I think there's less emotional attachment in Monaco.
Yeah.
I feel like they said to these Ajax boys, though, last year, we want 1 more year out here.
They say stay another season.
That is lovely.
You got a little bit. Oh, my days.
Crucial challenge from Eriksen. Right, nice.
Got a break.
Counter-attack needed from...
How high their line is, Ajax. That is so...
If that had been a better ball, it's 4-on-4. They just need to but show a bit more calmness when they get a hold of the ball.
That's
that's terrible for
doing.
Well played.
That's not going to go.
What are the good people of EFD? What are they saying?
There's a lot about Barcelona here as well, if we
yeah.
want to go into that. People, Harshan says, do Barcelona need to stop holding on to their ageing players and plan for life after the likes of Piqué, Suarez, Busquets and Messi, who are all in their 30s
I feel like
now,
it's a bit.
Don't put Messi
it's a
in
bit
that.
harsh because they have signed a lot of young players over the last 2 years. They've obviously made some big mistakes. I don't know why they signed Kevin Prince Boateng or players like that. But look at who they've invested in recently: Arthur, De Jong, Longley,
Malcolm,
Ousmane Dembele. They do have a crop of under 23 players that are potentially the best in the world for that age group. I don't think they have been completely lazy. Obviously, they'll need to replace Messi and directly replace Suarez at some stage, and you probably expect them to sign a striker this summer. Yeah. I'd have thought so.
Luka Jovic.
No, apparently they're linked with Lacazette as well, you know.
Really?
I've seen a few rumours for Lacazette.
Oh, but what do you think? Do you think he's Barcelona quality, Lacazette?
No, but I know a few Arsenal fans that are saying if they can get 70 mil for Lacazette, they wouldn't mind, just because they feel that he disrupts Aubameyang from actually being the lone striker.
Really?
Yeah, because every time Lacazette and Aubameyang play, they push Aubameyang out wide, and I think
they do.
Some Arsenal fans are saying it affects his game and stuff like that. So it kind of makes sense. So if they got the 70 mil and got a wide man in that actually contributed goals and assists, that might be better for them. But you know,
Thames, what do you think is the resonant gooner?
I think there's bigger problems than Lacazette pushing Aubameyang out wide at Arsenal. I think we need to keep him, and he is definitely. But I think he's definitely Barcelona quality. He's on a
he's young.
He always has like the best game for Arsenal when he's playing.
Yeah.
I think that they'll go for. There's much better targets in the market for 70 million.
Yeah, exactly.
How much of a bully this guy is.
Oh, De Ligt is just such
a bully
animal, isn't he?
De Jong's already running this midfield though.
Yeah, last couple of minutes Ajax have sort of calmed it down a bit more. As I say, that commentator's curse, they just get rid of the ball. But it's quite a sort of even midfield battle in the last 5 minutes or so. We haven't seen too many clear-cut opportunities for a couple of minutes at least. But just big arse for Spurs to score 2 now. Massive. Need to get Son more into the game.
And I also don't see I see Ajax scoring again. Like this is the problem. Then they got to get 3 away, and it's suddenly.
I'm glad that Pochettino sort of admitted the errors of the first leg though, and he's gone with 4 at the back. They look so much better when they were forced into 4 at the back by Vertonghen's sort of nasty head injury. They seem to give Ajax way too much time and space and respect in that first 20 minutes. In the first leg, and that sort of sets the tone for a tie in many ways. It takes quite a while to gather back momentum, and they've started much better here than they did in that first leg. It's much better. They were all over the place in they need to name that stadium Spurs' stadium. But yeah, it's still a big ask to come back from here. Temps, what are the people saying?
So staying on Barcelona, people are asking about Valverde as well. Do you think he deserves to be sacked? And if he does, who would you bring in? A lot of people are saying Ten Hag in the comments as well.
Yeah, Ten Hag's the one I think is the...
At where?
To go
Barcelona.
I think Ten Hag's... That's a big leap.
It is a big step.
Yeah.
And I think after one season of really excelling at Ajax, that may be a step too far. I also see Quique Setien being linked quite heavily with Barcelona, but he's just been fired from Real Betis. There's not that many managers that are available that play the Barcelona way. And that Barcelona way is so crucial to what they sort of try and operate as a club. So I can't actually see that many natural fits to replace Valverde. And that will obviously come into their thinking if they want to get rid of him. You've got to look at who they can bring in. And at the moment, they can't really bring in that many top replacements unless someone like Allegri leaves Juventus. So personally, I think they'll stick with Valverde.
Just updating on Allegri, people in the comments are saying he's going to announce it in the next 48 hours.
That'll be good.
That gives us
if he goes Barca, I think that'll be good still.
Yeah,
that'll be a good move.
Allegri would be amazing for them. I really think he'd be amazing. I know that some Juve fans have been a bit disillusioned with him this year though. Been a bit like, well, you haven't progressed us. But I feel like, what more do you want him to do other than win a Champions League?
I think they're in a bit of a bubble, aren't they, Juventus fans? Because they just dominate their league so much. They want to win the Champions League. If they don't win it,
but that's
taken for granted, don't they?
Yeah, but that's always a tough task for like teams like Juve and Barca, and like even City to a certain extent now.
The standards.
Like the standards are so high, where the Champions League is like the pinnacle rather than the league. But in reality, winning the league on 8 seasons in a row, that's a madness.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely crazy.
This football by Ajax, by the way, to get out of that position.
This is
outrageous by Ajax. Look at this football.
You see that clip that's gone viral with them kicking. This is literally it.
They've been training is amazing.
Feels like we're sort of watching sort of football greatness come to fruition.
Spurs are actually
the way they play is just beautiful.
It's getting passed off the park.
But I mean, people going back to people criticising Allegri. If they win their final 3 games of the season, which I think are against Roma, Sassuolo, and Fiorentina, they'll finish with 95 points, which is their second biggest tally this century. And so people criticising Allegri for not progressing your side enough, like, look at the stats. Only Conte has finished with more points than that crazy, I think he got 102 points or something like that. So, I mean, he's had a great year, Allegri. Obviously, 2 disappointing quarter-final exits in the Coppa Italia and obviously to this incredible Ajax side. But I think lay off him slightly. People are so quick to criticise just because they've signed Cristiano Ronaldo.
But sometimes it's good for clubs like that to have change as well, though.
Like, 100%. I think if it's on his own, on his own terms, fair play. You just shake his hand, say, Max, you've done a fantastic job. Best of luck with your next move. But I think the Juventus fans wanting a change, be careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
I don't know whether Antonio Conte would be a massive step up, in my personal opinion.
No. But it won't be a step down, though.
Yeah. He does know.
It might be in terms of football quality to watch if you're a Juve fan.
Yeah.
Like, I would be pretty.
I saw this week when I was writing Transfer Talk, which is live, so don't go check it out now. You can check it out later. But Conte is supposedly a very big fan of Romelu Lukaku.
Take him.
So there is talks of Lukaku going to Juventus and United trying to use that to bring in Paulo Dybala.
I can literally imagine. I can just imagine Ronaldo getting so mad at Lukaku's touch though. They've never been able to hide it. We'll just see, just move.
There is absolutely no way Juventus are going to swap Lukaku for Dybala.
It was in Transfer Talk, you know.
I mean, that would be one of the most audacious swap deals in football.
I think it was Tutto Sport who were reporting it. Normally not too bad.
I saw Inter as well though. Linked with Inter.
Yeah, I think that's more his level, to be fair. I don't think he's going to get a gig at Juventus, and he's certainly not going to get a game. Especially when they got Moise Kean playing so well in the last few months.
But they are looking for a Mandzukic replacement, aren't they? And I don't know whether they think or not Rom can play wide. He can't. but either way, like I mean, take it.
Oh my!
He crushed that league though. He scored so many goals.
He would score bare goals.
He scored so many goals.
But Ronaldo will get.
He just bullies some of those smaller Italians.
I'm not sure.
Him and Ronaldo will not be able to coexist.
Yeah, I don't get it.
In any team.
I totally agree. I don't think it makes sense. But yeah, what do you guys think about Lukaku to Juventus? Absolute rubbish? Let me know down below. Also, please subscribe to Euro Football Daily if you've just joined us. We are watching Ajax versus Spurs. Ajax are 1-0 up and sort of in control, I'd argue.
Look at the burners.
Long way back for Spurs here. They need 2 goals. Ericsson wide on the right. He's got so much to do here.
Well defended, man.
Never getting past
really
him.
nice. Temps, what are the people saying?
Oh! Ericsson, easy.
Carabo says, do you reckon English teams are going to dominate Europe once again?
Sam, what do you reckon?
I think we're on the verge. Like we're in that conversation. Like with Liverpool getting to the Champions League final back to back, that shows. And they didn't win the league last year. They're looking like they're not going to win it this year. So they're potentially the second best team in England, and they've touched the Champions League final twice.
Yeah.
That shows how strong we're getting. Also Europa, Arsenal, Chelsea dominating it. We're in that conversation. All I'd say is United, they're just not really, you know.
They're not in the conversation.
They're not in the conversation. But
Oi, Musa!
Here we go, Musa. Lovely play.
Just absolute bobble fest.
Swap sides here as well.
Yeah, Chelsea.
Go on, son. Oh.
Musa Sissoko just did nothing for him. Just totally shut his space off.
Just running through players.
Spurs do need to start carving out some proper opportunities.
But like,
though,
even Spurs, for example, Dortmund had their best, like one of their best seasons this year.
Yeah.
Went to Spurs, got absolutely demolished.
Yeah. Benefit of hindsight, but it'd be really interesting. Obviously, Man City have gone out to 2 English teams in a row in Liverpool and Spurs. I'd be really interested to see whether anyone else in Europe could live with Man City over 2 legs. Yeah. Don't know whether that's just my Englishness coming out, my Britishness coming out in spades, but I think most teams would struggle with Man City over 2 legs unless you're a Premier League team because you're used to the intensity that they play at, or somewhat used to the intensity.
I think City have been shagged for the last 2 years having an English side playing against them. Like I think even if they got Ajax, I think that would have been one of the most exciting games.
They bottled it against Monaco.
They did,
but their team wasn't that
They
strong.
also
then,
had an awful spell against Liverpool last year. I think they conceded 3 in the first 30 at Anfield, and then they conceded some sloppy goals against Man City this time as well. But
against Tottenham,
against Tottenham. But if it wasn't for that VAR decision, they'd be in this semi-final. So it was a really tight two-legged affair.
This is good. This is good.
He's in.
Got to score.
Oh, he just stabbed at that.
Talk us through it.
Oh my days! I didn't even clock what was happening. Who started the move on the left?
Dele.
Joe, did you see what was going on?
Yeah, I think Eriksen, nice little back heel, goes down to Danny Rose, slips it down the line to Dele. It's a great ball by Dele in behind Daley Blind.
I thought it was for Moura. That is such a ball.
Daley Blind, you got to cut that off.
Why did he take it on with his outside of the foot though?
I'm for a man supporting Spurs in this. I'm kind of buoyed by that. I like the way they cut in there. Dele Alli was really good in that. You know, some people were appealing for a.
Hit it!
Go on, Lucas!
Massive chances.
Ajax are looking wide open.
So Lucas picked that up in the middle of the park, tried to drive through, dropped it off to Christian Eriksen, and he went with his left rather than his right. He had a lot of time, straight at Onana, which you don't want to do. He's a great shot stopper. But Spurs with some big opportunities around the 20-minute mark in this game. They need 2 goals to go through against Ajax, and
those are
need
big
to keep
chances.
this pressure on.
Massive.
Big time. Thames, have we got any questions?
We do. 8 Kane says, do you think Eriksen is a good fit for Real Madrid? There's been a lot of rumours.
Joe, what are your initial thoughts on this?
No. No. I mean, he'd be a great player for them, but I don't think it's an area they need to strengthen. Is he a huge step up on Isco and James Rodriguez, who's currently out on loan at Bayern? Maybe a tad, but there are definitely bigger areas of concern in that squad than getting an upgrade on already pretty strong Isco and James Rodriguez. I think they're going to look to sign a striker pretty rapidly. Still haven't replaced Cristiano, have they? Might want a centre-back replacement for Sergio Ramos, who's getting no younger, although they have brought in Militao, haven't they? This move's been confirmed. So I think they'll probably be after more pressing areas of concern, like a striker, than they will a 10.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, if Marcelo leaves as well, which continues to rumble on, they'll need another left-back.
I think they'll bring back
of course they'll have Hakimi, and they've got Sergio Reguilon, so they're pretty well stocked in the full-back areas. But yeah, I think they've probably got more pressing areas. But you continually see papers linking them with either Pogba or Eriksen. I don't know whether that's just lazy journalism. But if I had
Pogba would make much more sense.
Yeah, if I had to choose between them, I'd probably go Pogba.
Cost a lot more,
do you agree, Albert? He would cost a lot more.
I think Eriksen's a good player. Like, he's a great player, but I don't see him having that much of an impact. Like the impact that they would want him to have at Real Madrid. Like, I think Pogba would be that. Like, obviously Pogba's like one of my favourite players, in it, so I'm a bit biased. But I think he suits their style a bit more. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'd agree, but they have to pay out their arse for Paul Pogba.
How much though? Because how many years? He's got 2 years left on his contract.
3 maybe, including the extension.
I think he'd cost 130. Probably.
Well, I think more than that.
But would it? But
do you think
his wage alone, he's already earning nearly 300k at United. So you're chucking at least that at him at Real Madrid.
350.
He's got We've signed him for nearly 100. United are not going to take anything less than 150 million for Paul Pogba.
And what is he, 26?
And if you're Real Madrid, do you pay 150? I get that Paul Pogba's a fabulous player. That's quality.
Lovely. Dele Alli driving forward. Here we go.
Not many options out.
Ooh, sold him.
Oh, go on.
Oh, well
but
played.
Pogba's what now? 26.
Yeah.
When Ajax are selling to Barcelona De Jong at 75 million. Are you really willing to pay double that for 26-year-old Paul Pogba, who, let's face it,
be careful,
is struggling a little bit at times? I know that he's not. He's not. If he was the best centre mid in the world, nailed on and flying, then you'd be like, yeah, pay it.
I think he is on form though.
But
when he's on form,
when he's on form, he's
yeah.
unplayable. He's unplayable. And for Real Madrid, I think they would.
Do you back that at 150 mil though?
I think it is a lot.
It's a lot of money, but with the overhaul that they're saying that they're trying to do this summer, I think it makes sense.
You need to get the right players, whatever the price.
I'm not sure that Real Madrid will be.
But who do they get? If they're not going to get,
the
if they're not
talk
going to
is
get
Tango
Pogba,
and Ndombele, but he's still going to be 70, I think. And Pogba's a much better all-round player, I think, than Ndombele.
But he's also 5 years older. He's also 5 years older.
Is Ndombele 21?
21, yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
and also market value as well. They're going to think about that, like the shirt sales, all of that stuff.
No, I don't think to the level people make out. I get that he will be incredibly commercially viable and he would be a superstar signing when he would be up there with the biggest names. But I just feel like if you sign Paul Pogba right now, I just personally don't feel like it's the right time to sign Paul Pogba.
Do you reckon there could be a potential swap deal, like for one of Real Madrid's players
Shoving
out of
Cruz.
favour?
No, I just don't see. I don't see anybody. That's a good
That's a
ball.
ball.
Here
we go. Dolberg brings it down.
Go on.
Sloppy.
Struggling.
Unfortunately, a
Touch
sloppy
is
touch
not
for
great.
Ajax.
I don't think that Real Madrid will be willing to spend as much as it takes to get him out. He's going to be like £500 million player by the time you stick wages on him for 5 years and you pay his transfer fee.
Fair. I mean, you guys, let us know what you guys think. Are you Team Ober and Doogie? Are you Team Joe? Let us know in the comments. Temps, let's move on.
We've got two possible links here. So Jose to Juventus, some people are saying, and Wenger to Barcelona. What do you make of that?
What?
I think Wenger.
Two tired, forgotten managers.
No, Wenger
now.
to Barca
Wenger-
makes
Wenger
way
at
more sense.
Barcelona. Imagine
What?
Wenger coaching Messi.
I think that's so funny. I think these are like rumours out of 2008.
Yeah.
2002.
I don't get that. I think Wenger to Barcelona makes more sense than Mourinho to Juve. I think, although I have seen Mourinho heavily linked with the return to Inter Milan and to Roma.
And to
Celtic.
And to Celtic. I think Celtic's obviously not going to happen, but I could see Roma or Inter Milan happening. I just don't think Juventus would probably look to Mourinho to really crack their Champions League quest. Obviously, he's won
a huge step backwards.
A huge step backwards. Obviously, won a couple in the past, but hasn't really performed that well in the competition in recent years. I don't really see that happening personally. But somewhere to like Roma, I mean, they're talking about Sarri, they're talking about Benitez, they're talking about Ten Hag at Roma. That sort of is a better fit than Juve. I think that'd be a big step down, going Allegri to Mourinho personally.
God.
Joe, I mean, having the man who's had more recent contact to Mourinho than we have.
Jeez, if he gets a job at a elite club like Juventus, I'll be horrified. Absolutely.
There's so much space.
Absolutely shambolic.
Right, talk us through. Here we go.
Okay, Dusan Tadic, she's one-on-one with Toby.
Oh, he's done him!
Goal.
Oh!
Wow. Thought he was in.
I thought he'd taken it too wide. And then he just
done him though, flip.
Took it on the outside of Toby Alderweireld. Alderweireld kind of lost his footing and he's just dragged his shot a tiny bit, probably missing by like 3 inches. Wanyama looks like he's got injured. Wanyama's injured, and also Kieran Trippier has been struggling really badly.
Isn't he? Lads, we have seen some big chances already.
Oh, that's his
in
knee.
this game.
That's his knee.
Oh no.
That seems like that could be his knee. Dusan Tadic. How close is it?
Oh,
it just curves the wrong
way. In the end,
way.
it's a couple of feet in the end. But we've seen some big chances already. Son, Eriksson, Tadic missing one there. There's definitely goals in this game, so keep on watching. And if you're new to Euro Football Daily, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We do these live streams very regularly indeed. Hit that notification bell as well to never miss a video. We look like we've got Wanyama who's struggling at the moment.
Trippier's struggling too.
I'm not quite sure on their bench options. I think they've got Skip on the bench.
Oh, the ref's struggling as well.
They've got Eric Dyer on the bench as well. But this is not good news for Pochettino if he's potentially having to deal with 2 injuries. 1-0 down away at Ajax.
Oh, okay.
Is that his? I think that might be his. So the ref's having his mic patch. Mic patch? His mic reattached.
Toby got completely. Ooh.
He does okay though, Toby. He forces him wide, doesn't
Shoves him down the line, but he was a bit square on.
Do you think Toby will still be there next summer?
No, I doubt it.
Atletico Madrid calling?
I don't know if he'll go back.
It makes sense. I don't know. I mean, they'll need at least 2, possibly 3 defensive reinforcements this year. Obviously, Felipe Luis isn't getting any older. Lucas Hernandez is gone. Godin's gone. I mean, I really hope for Atletico Madrid fans' sake that they've got their planning sorted, because otherwise I really worry for them next year. Thomas Lemar's signing has not worked out at all. Diego Costa has been woeful this year when he's played, when he's not been on the treatment table. It's worrying times for Atletico Madrid. Obviously, they still have a sort of wealth of talent in midfield, but they might lose Rodri as well. Sal being linked with a move away as well. It could potentially sort of fall apart for Atleti. But we shall see, obviously. Simeone's been there for 8 years. Maybe they need a new change of manager, a new voice. Thought they were really disappointing in that second leg against Juventus. So we shall see. But Ajax dominating again in this game.
They're so good in like small spaces.
Frankie de Jong might be the best young centre mid I've ever seen.
Honestly, the guy's so good in high pressure situations.
He's definitely the best dribbler I've ever seen in central midfield.
He's gonna be so good for Barca. Like it's gonna be. It's actually gonna be.
It will signal a bit of a shift in how they play though, because obviously you've seen Sergi Busquets really sit and anchor, whereas Frankie's way more dynamic.
I think this is Busquets.
Oh, but talk us through and talk the viewers through. As you know, by far and away the best footballer here. What makes Frankie de Jong so special as a midfielder, in your opinion?
He sees the whole pitch before and like his next pass before the ball even comes, and like you can tell he's so composed on the ball. It's just like I wish I had that composure. Like every time in such high pressure situations, you can tell the next pass he's thinking of. Even situations you think, he's gonna lose it here. Like he just turns out or does something mad.
It's his scanning before he gets it, isn't it? It's just amazing.
But it's his team as well. They trust him so much. Like you can tell he's just one of those.
But you see Daley Blind going into midfield here. Like he's a centre back now, Dion. Like
it's natural. It's so natural.
Yeah.
It's just so fluid, isn't it? Everyone knows, everyone's comfortable on the ball, everyone's happy playing anywhere effectively. But having said that, that is a very poor ball from Daley Blind.
No, but look at him, look at that.
See that bit of game reading?
He's read it. He reads the game so quick, man.
So quick. Like he immediately shifted off and went on to his second man there, Dion.
Yeah. And what's more, they've got a goalkeeper at the back who's incredibly comfortable with the ball at his feet.
Look at him now. Look at him now. He's outrageous, this kid. He's took the ball on his own 6-yard box and won a foul.
He doesn't deserve to do that.
Leaves all pressure as well. Leaves all pressure.
That's what he's a specialist at. Yeah, he's 6'1".
Yeah, he's instantly ready for Barcelona. I think when the signing first went through, I was a bit like maybe he'll sort of be eased in first year. This guy has to start for Barcelona next year.
He's starting.
Yeah, he has to start. And on current form, he starts ahead of Busquets, who looked finished last night, I have to say.
100%.
Oh God.
But
Arthur.
that is a big statement to make. Obviously, one of the best midfielders of his generation.
No, but it's good. It's all right, fam. That sometimes that happens. Your time's done.
Yeah.
Like it's better. I feel like it's better to go out graciously.
Do you know what? He made Arthur look so much worse. Arthur was crap, but like Arthur and Busquets, they're so immobile.
Yeah.
There's a chance.
I thought
3-on-2.
Go on, play him. Go on.
Van den
Vidal
Beek,
was
one-on-one.
probably their best midfielder across 2
Tadic.
legs, but here we go, Tadic on
Finish it.
Hakim Ziyech, what a finish! Absolutely fabulous.
Spurs are done. Where's Sonny?
Spurs are done.
He's crying somewhere.
Van der Beek's basically won it on the halfway line, sprinted forward, slipped it down the left-hand side to Dusan Tadic. He's cut it back to 10 yards out. Hakim Ziyech, left foot, first time. Absolutely the man you want running onto this ball.
They need to get Trippier off. He's done out here. He's completely done.
And also, Ziyech was in so much space here.
Let's have a look. What's he moaning about? He's moaning about that. I'm thinking, he doesn't even touch your face, Trippier.
Trippier looked like he's about to be in tears.
Brilliant by Van. He's onside, Dusan Tadic.
Just onside, Dusan Tadic.
Look at where he finds him, though.
But look
and
at
the movement.
Look at the purity of the strike.
Wanyama has to wake up there.
The purity of the strike, though.
And Lurie has no chance there, but
he loves celebrating.
No chance there at all. But Wanyama needs to pick up his man at the edge of the box. He had no idea where Ziyech was there. He just comes in front of him, curls it into the far corner. Fair play. Ziyech, I think he's been involved in 5 of their 6 knockout goals now.
He's
incredible record.
There's not many players better in world football that hit that ball as purely as that. Like obviously Leo hits it on that left. Yeah. Maybe I can think of like a Heung-min Son strikes it that purely coming across his body, but just such a good finish, man. So underrated.
But the way Spurs just seem like they don't want it.
Yeah,
struggling, aren't they?
But we just haven't seen. Well, they had a couple. We had a couple of chances around 20 minutes, but since then,
this could be a bloodbath. This could actually.
I do worry about that. I mean, look at the levels of confidence as well. Spurs have been awful in the league recently. I think they've won 3 of their last 11 games, which is shocking. Whereas Ajax have won. I think they've only lost 1 of their last 10, with 9 straight wins. They're coming off a cup win. They are just at the peak of their powers. Whereas this Spurs side are just petering out at just the wrong time. But it shouldn't take away from what Pochettino has done with this Spurs side this season. Getting this team to a Champions League semi-final, I think it's a great achievement. But they're just being outplayed here, quite simply.
Yeah, this is just a better team. This is just a better team than Tottenham. Ajax is so fun to watch as well. Like, they are a little bit exposed defensively though at times, which makes me concerned for the Champions League final, because Liverpool will absolutely punish it. Yeah. Liverpool will 100% stick it in the back of the net.
Yeah, their fans know they're going absolutely mental. So it's 2-0 Ajax on 37 minutes. Spurs now need 3 goals to go through. I mean, we saw what was pretty much the impossible last night, but surely, Sam, this is...
I don't think they've got a chance. Unless
looks like he's seen a ghost.
Unless they get a goal before half time, then they've got a chance. But the way they're playing is just... It's not even the way they're playing. Going forward, they seem all right, but defensively, they seem so lackluster. Like, Trippier, I don't know what he's on. If he's injured, he needs to tell them that he's injured and needs to come off, because he's ruining that. He's been at fault for basically both of their goals.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I mean, they're not really getting any luck down the left-hand side with Danny Rose. He's played well so far this first half, but Trippier just hasn't looked at the races. He's been all right on the ball and going forward, but he's just getting caught out of position so often, and he just doesn't have the pace to get back against this fluid Ajax left-hand side. I think he just needs a rest, perhaps. I don't know. He's played a lot of games in the last 12 months. Before that, he wasn't ever a regular starter at Spurs. It's just...
Who's their current backup right back?
Aurier.
Serge Aurier, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But
he's not...
Or let's not forget about Kyle Walker-Peters, mate.
Oh!
Yeah, he's not great.
Ajax now, though, can just operate with a slightly lower block and just look to counter with the pace of Ziyech and Dusan Tadic coming inside.
I think they should stick to their game plan, though. But try to get a few more, man.
Yeah, I think this could end up being a bloodbath if Tottenham aren't careful as they start to fly forward in the second half.
Yeah. I mean, there's no shame in losing to this Ajax side as well. They obviously absolutely did. Real Madrid at the Bernabeu. They beat Juventus away from home as well.
But they came into this tie 1-0 down. Like, the comfort as to which Ajax are playing is a bit... It looks a bit
pressure.
Easy. Yeah, it's just easy.
No, I agree.
Yeah, I do know what you mean, but then that does come from missing players like Harry Kane, doesn't it? And
definitely.
And maybe not having the confidence away from home. What, they won 1 away game in all competitions since February.
Yeah, that was mad.
Not good. That's good. Very good.
Here we go. We'll need a goal here to make this interesting.
Terrible by Danny, man.
Ball from Danny Rose. Got to pick out Lucas Moura there.
I mean,
the slightly concerning thing is with Harry Kane out and this squad sort of stretched by injuries and whatnot, Pochettino doesn't have that many options on the bench as well. I think there's Skip, Lamela, Llorente, but I just wouldn't be thinking about bringing Fernando Llorente onto a game like this.
No, but
really?
I think his lack of mobility would just make Spurs even more limited up front. And Matthias de Ligt, I can just.
But look at where Son's picking the ball up here. Almost as a DM.
I feel like he would need him.
There's no. I feel like they're struggling for a point of attack.
For a focal point.
Yeah.
I actually think he hasn't been that bad in the last 2 Champions League games he's played. Yeah, he's been all right.
That's true. He was.
But who did they take off
against City?
I think maybe you've got to take off
Lucas
Moura.
Lucas Moura.
Yeah.
Not sure that he's.
No, I think.
Either way, they've got to start moving the ball quicker. There's far too many players taking too many touches.
Way too organised for this.
Oh, Thames, let's go to the next question. I'm a bit exasperated.
The next one's from Josh Moffat, who says, what team do you think in the Premier League is most likely to get raided in the transfer window, and why?
I think they've got so much money they can pretty much hold on to whoever, really. I can't see any side getting completely raided. I think maybe Bournemouth might lose a few players this summer. Leicester could potentially.
I think Leicester will hang on to a lot of players.
Yeah,
that
if any club's going to get raided,
exciting.
it's going to be Leicester.
Yeah.
Like Wilfred Ndidi, James Maddison, Ben Chilwell, all going to be identified by major clubs for transfers. I don't know about Maguire quite so much. I think he's like 28 now.
Of the top clubs, the only club I can see getting raided is sadly Spurs. Obviously, Chelsea aren't going to let that many players go because they can't.
Give it.
Here we go. Spurs.
Oh,
it's a poor
wow,
touch from Son. So unlike him.
Wow.
Hasn't looked at it in his normal sort of exceptional standards, Son, so far. But yeah, of the top clubs, I can only really see Spurs getting raided heavily. Yeah, I imagine one of Eriksen, Ali, or Kane. I mean, if potentially one of them will leave this summer, and it looks like it's going to be Eriksen. But I can't see Man United losing that many players that they don't want to lose. I think they've got the financial power to hold on to Pogba. I don't see Rashford. There was talk about him joining
No,
Barcelona,
but
but I didn't see that happening.
United getting raided isn't necessarily a bad thing for them.
Who wants to raid that team?
Burnley.
I've got 8 or 9 players we'll give you for absolute pennies on the dollar, mate.
I'd honestly turn down Ashley Young at Sunderland at the moment.
No, you wouldn't.
I would. I genuinely would.
No, you wouldn't.
He would not be fit for a League One battle.
Come on, no, you would.
No,
Take it.
No, you would turn him down.
You need him.
That's rude. Aye, that's good though.
Oh,
He hasn't.
Oh, no.
Is he? Oh,
just
such a good chance.
I was gonna say though, like, what would make Poch stay at Spurs?
Lack of options.
Money.
It's got to be money.
Budget.
He actually said he would leave if they won the Champions League.
Yeah.
So
Well, he said he
obviously
might do
not
something
leaving.
different. I think that might just be like, just give up football. Like, I've completed it.
Yeah. What else could I do?
I really want him to go Barca, you know.
What's he doing?
He
Just
won't
saying
go
he
Barca. He'll
will,
never go
Espanyol,
Barca.
yeah.
but
He said he never would.
If
And
he
I
does,
actually-
he would. Look
Oh,
really
Victor
bad.
Wanyama. That could be a second yellow here. I'm not being funny. Oh, was it? Was he?
No, it was
Was
a
he already
Sissoko,
on the yellow?
that's
Oh,
a
it was
Sissoko.
Sissoko who launched into the first tackle.
Lazar Shone heavily on the ground here. Here we go.
Oh.
No, it
That
looks
was
worse.
a
than it
He
David
does
Luiz.
jump
That was
into
he
it,
jumped
though.
into it. That was a David Luiz challenge.
Yeah,
He
he,
steps on his toe. Get up, mate.
he does jump
Do
into.
you know how thin those boots are, bro?
Yeah. And Wanyama's quite a heavy bloke. as well.
Exactly.
Hakim Ziyech. All I'm saying, free kick specialist standing over this one.
Ooh, Temps, let's get a question in before the free kick.
Yes, this one's from Football Stats Daily. Who says, "Why do you think the Sarri ball is not working at Chelsea?"
Sorry, what's his name?
Football Stats Daily.
Copyright. Get a new name. Get a new. Mute myself.
In all fairness, to him, he's always in the comments.
Oh, come on,
leave
my
him
guy.
alone. Or let him be.
Albert, you've got to take
yeah,
this one,
Sarri
mate.
ball.
Sarri
I
ball.
think it hasn't necessarily not worked.
Corner.
I think it's in periods of this season we've just stopped. We've stopped having that like aggression and the speed as to which he wants to play. Like the first few games, we were playing Sarri ball and it was working, and then we just fell off. I think we had like a bad run of
You
games.
got found out.
I wouldn't. Yeah, potentially. Jorginho got found out, and then stick 1 or 2 men on Jorginho, and then the
After
whole
how many
system
games?
just the whole
How many
system.
games?
It was a few, because we were third for a while.
15,
I think it was like 12. Don't they 12
That's not a good system if it only takes 13 games to figure
No, but
out.
we're third now, so obviously it's all right.
It's
But-
very chirpy
But
from an
very
Arsenal
by
fan.
default, though. By default.
Yeah, know
Like,
what
I
you
think Sarri ball's better than flipping Emery ball.
mean. I think it's,
There is no Emery ball.
I think it's a work in progress. I think he didn't get that much time in the summer. He obviously came in pretty late. It was
What's he going to
obviously
do this summer then?
it was exactly. It was a reduced. But
He said
all
he's
I'm
got a
saying
few
is
players that
give,
he's
give
looking
him
on
more
loan.
credit than he's
Can't
got
bring
so
anyone
far.
in,
No, from the list of players that we have.
He came in late. I think he only came in mid-July. The transfer window only went until mid-August because it was the first time it had been reduced. Got Jorginho in, got Kepa in, got Kovacic on loan, but otherwise didn't really get the players he needed. And there's a lot of issues in that Chelsea
No,
squad.
but yeah, and that's the thing. Like you've seen when you watch Chelsea this season, like we'll have a good 60 minutes, and then the rest of the game, the rest of the 30, we just drop off.
I
like,
think
the
they're
tempo
in
just,
huge trouble next season.
we're not in huge trouble. I don't think we
think
are.
you might be, mate.
I don't think we are. Stop shaking your head behind the camera.
I think
we're not in huge trouble. We're not in huge trouble.
You have, in at least 30% of your games this season, Eden Hazard has bailed you out of trouble.
Yeah.
And I would say in at least half of your games this season, Sarri ball, as everybody calls it, by minutes 60 to 70 has been get the ball to Eden Hazard and he will do a madness.
But then obviously you have to adapt. Like fair
But
enough,
you don't
lose.
have Hazard.
Yes, we don't have Hazard, but we have 45 loanees that he can pick from and pick the best and
Pray
say,
on
come
me,
back
Chris.
in,
Coming back.
come back in and switch it up. We got Pulisic coming in. You never know. Like the thing is, I'm scared. I'm worried for the new season. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Wobbles.
I can hear tears as well.
But at the same time, I don't think we're in that much trouble. If we didn't have a pool of 45 players that are out on loan to pick from, and some players that are doing quite well, I would be more stressed.
They're doing quite well at Aston Villa. They're doing quite well.
Yeah, and that's
at Vitesse
fine.
Arnhem.
And that's fine because certain players come up from the Championship, come to the Premier League and do well. James Maddison.
Name another one.
Brooks.
Yeah, Brooks is a decent
There
shout.
we go. So
But
it
equally,
can happen.
James Maddison and Brooks are for teams that are 30 points, 40 points off City, 20 points off a mediocre Chelsea now.
But all we need for Sarri ball to work, we just need workers and movement. Workers and movement.
See, for me this season, Sarri ball, as everybody keeps calling it, has effectively turned into I can't break this team down.
It's not just pass. That's not Sarri ball. And if you think that's Sarri ball, that's very disrespectful to what he's created.
Disrespectful is a strong word.
It's not disrespectful. You
know
that's true. Even as a
It's not
Chelsea
true.
fan,
How can you say like?
Get the ball to Hazard has been the main point of call.
That's not Sarri ball. That's when we're panicking. That's panic station. Well, yeah, that's a few games, but we've been dead, fam. We've been dead for a few games.
You're stressing out, Sam.
So
I'm pretty sure
enough.
he's about to break into tears.
Fair enough.
Half time, by the way.
Half time. So Ajax 2-0
Brilliant
up
half.
against Spurs, 3-0 up on aggregate. It looks like there's no way back for Spurs. If you are new to the channel, Eurofootball Daily, welcome aboard. We do these streams all the time. Please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell to never miss a video. Video? Yeah, video. I don't know
That's
what
what we do.
That's what we do here on
And
YouTube.
podcast.
We make videos. But yeah, looking like sort of dead in the water for Spurs a bit. 3 goals needed. Matthias de Ligt and Hakim Ziyech with the second goal.
Sick.
Temps, let's fast through some questions. Let's get some audience involvement.
Diego, you must be new because we don't do that at half time over here. We do quiz time with Temps.
Hey! You must be new. Play the sting.
So this where is the sting? Who's got a sting? No one's got a sting. So this week, last week we did hot potato round. This week we're doing Who Am I? Which is Joe's favourite.
I'm not good at Who Am I.
I don't know whether you're joking. We're actually doing Who Am I?
No, we actually have to do
Alright,
quizzes.
class,
Yeah,
okay.
you can play along at home if you know the answer, obviously. Okay, first one. I have played with Gareth Bale, Eddie Howe, Shaqiri, and Jamie Redknapp.
Eddie Howe.
Pass. B. Is it Lassana Diarra?
It is not. There are 2 more clues, by the way, if you need the next
So
bit.
remind me of the players. We've got Eddie Howe, the only name I can remember.
Gareth Bale, Shaqiri, and Jamie Redknapp. I didn't do this first one. I got this first one from Reddit, so I'm pretty
sure it's
Reddit
right?
if it's wrong. The next 2 I did myself.
Just Eddie Howe. Didn't he play
Eddie
for Bournemouth and Portsmouth?
Portsmouth, was there a Burnley?
I think he did play for
David
Burnley.
James.
No.
Ooh, Ivan Campo.
Nope.
Alright,
Next
Next clue. I am a Champions League runner-up.
Ooh,
Some
really
of these
doesn't help.
That
Some of
doesn't
these-
help.
He's
some of
played
these
with
are
Eddie
topical.
Howe. Poor guy. What was he doing? He's lost.
It would all make sense if you get the answer.
This is very tough.
This is where you see the sort of behind the edit on Stat Wars. It's mainly
Let me
just
just see if the
thinking.
comments have got it. I want to see if the comments have got it before you.
Bojan.
No.
Peter Crouch.
Correct.
Yeah.
He cheated.
Did you look at the?
He
He's
looked
looking
at his
at the live
phone.
chat.
Oh my god!
Shout out
Shame.
Nicholas Zen.
Shame.
Shout out.
Hey, you
Shout
are
out
sick.
Nicholas
How
Zen.
did you know that? How did they know that?
Nicholas Zen.
Oh, they're
heck?
good. They're good.
Genius.
Don't
Right,
knock
we're
them.
doing
All
we're
right.
doing a timeout on Joe. You're
Yeah, no,
disqualified.
you're not in the next round.
No, yeah, put your phone down.
I'm
Put
repping
your
the
phone
comments then. I'll be the comments section. See if you can beat your comments.
We're not going.
I'm doing the
obviously.
comments.
He's doing
You
the
play
comments.
Okay, fine.
Next
You're a
one.
cheat.
Okay then. Okay.
No phone this time. You guys
Shameful.
Have that.
Are you ready?
have that.
For shame.
I have. I have played with David Beckham, Leroy Sane, Jan Vertonghen, and Christian
Raul.
Fuchs. No.
David Beckham, Leroy Sane.
Jan
Leroy
Vertonghen
Sane,
and
Schalke.
Christian Fuchs.
Cambiasso.
Wait,
How
say that
many goes are
again.
you getting?
Wait, say that again.
Okay, so I have played
Beckham, Fuchs.
Yep. Leroy Sane and Jan Vertonghen.
Klaas-Jan Huntelaar.
Correct.
I mean, third attempt.
comments that time.
Third attempt, but
how
okay.
many
No one in the
how many
comments got
times
that,
are you
so that was
allowed
good.
to
Oh,
say?
is he allowed to just guess until he
Are we
gets
going to
it?
do
Yeah,
the
man.
actual rules, or are we going to say one?
Because in
fam?
Stat Wars,
you
you
know
only
how
get
it
one
works.
It's not Stat Wars.
No,
This
but
is
you
quiz
know how
time
it
with
Temps.
Temps.
No, but so say the rules, quiz time temps. Go on.
First one to the
wins.
answer.
Yeah.
So I can say about 15 names in a row and try and get it
Absolutely,
right.
yeah.
Fair
Would you
enough.
have got class
there, would you?
No, I wouldn't have, but that's not the point.
Shut your mouth.
That's not the point. Go on, quiz time temps.
It's all getting a bit heated.
Talk to me like that. Okay, last one. I have played with Alvaro Morata,
Diego Costa.
Lemeric Laporte, Steven Nzonzi, and Arturo Vidal.
Ooh.
Fabregas.
Nope.
David Luiz.
Oh, we just
Repeat
this
the
guessing
names,
doesn't
please.
work if you get.
Okay, so the names are Alvaro Morata,
Alvaro Morata.
Lemeric Laporte, Steven Nzonzi, and Arturo Vidal.
Ooh.
Who's played
Passionate.
for
Llorente.
Blackburn
Yeah.
and Chelsea?
Yes.
Oh,
Was it?
Fernando Llorente.
Yeah, it was Lorenzo.
What are you saying now? Don't question
Why are you so bad at Stat Wars?
Quiz time with temps is your...
It's the pressure of the Stat Wars spaceship gets to me every time.
It's true. That spaceship is nuts.
Into my
I saw Captain Marvel last time.
That's the end of quiz time with temps.
Oh,
hey.
Thanks for having us quiz time with temps.
Yeah, it's a good segment.
Get your comments in there.
Okay,
please
next
get your
segment.
comments in about the game.
You ready for the next segment?
All right, there's another segment.
Yeah, it's another segment.
Another quiz time with temps.
This is brought to you by Discord. Which,
Yay!
Atkins will put in the comments right now. These are personal questions from Discord, so they'll be as weird and wonderful as
about
possible.
Us? Bloody hell, right, okay, here we go.
So first one, because it didn't get asked last week, I think it wasn't Room Cobra, it was Menez who was banging on about this one. Would you rather fight 2 Millad-sized McCubbins or 1 McCubbin-sized Millad?
Oh my god, definitely not a McCubbin-sized Millad. Millad is a dangerous man, even at his own size. He's actually scarily strong, a decent wrestler, and he has jiu-jitsu skills.
I don't really want to fight McCubbin either, though, because he's quite wiry, he's quite strong, and he's also a bit crazy sometimes.
You're mental.
If McCubbin gets angry, you suddenly see him go.
Would it be a surprise if you found out tomorrow Millad had killed a man?
I'm not really at McCubbin either.
Millad?
No, Millad.
Yeah,
I'll take the two
McCubbins every day.
You say 2
A
McCubbins?
McCubbin-sized Millad would be an absolute
that would be a menace.
I feel like you could distract McCubbin easily, and I feel like Millad would be very focused on going for you.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
So
true.
that's why I go 2 McCubbins.
Fair, okay.
Okay, next one is a bit more serious. If you could interview any person, football related or not, who would it be?
Meek Mill.
Who?
Meek Mill. If you know Meek Mill, I rate you. That's all I'm saying.
If I could interview any person in the world, who would have the most? David Attenborough, I think, would have an incredible story. I think he'd have really good story.
You know about David Attenborough? Do you want to know something? It's his birthday today.
Hey, happy birthday, Dave.
Happy birthday, Davey. I would interview maybe Kevin Phillips, actually.
What about footballer? Oh, you've done a football related.
Yeah. What about football?
I'll definitely be Pogs.
Messi would be so boring.
I'd do Pogs. Messi wouldn't understand me. I need Pogs. I need to get that energy. See if we're supposed to be guys.
Actually, probably Cantona, mate. Cantona would tell you some weird stuff. You'd have a class now with Cantona. Look at Van den Beek block Toby Alderweireld off here. Watch this, so crucial.
Cheeky. I'd also, someone who's always interested
he's following him.
Is Dwayne Chambers, the drugs cheat sprinter. He's got a really
That's so random.
Genuinely, he's got a really interesting backstory, and his road to redemption was something that I respect. So
CR7 as well.
Yeah.
Big legend.
Fair.
Mine would be Joe Rogan, because he's just met so many amazing people and asked him.
So you want to interview him about the other people he's met?
Yeah, and himself, obviously. Not many people interview Joe Rogan.
True.
That'd be good actually.
Yeah, that'd be really good.
I'll watch that.
This one's for you, Doogie. What is your favourite colour bandana?
Oh,
wait, why is this for Doogie?
Did you see the photo yesterday? Oh, right. Okay, you
now.
asked this question. I'm going to show Obaseki. We're going to get a live reaction.
Have you not seen
it?
He
hasn't seen it.
Oh, wow.
I want to get a live reaction from you.
So, for anyone that wasn't aware, I did Hamill's podcast last week, and we got talking a bit about travelling.
This is Doogie.
And I
genuinely, this is Doogie.
Oh. Oh my days! That's not you, bro.
It was.
That is not you.
It doesn't look like you. It's
You
only
look
the eyes.
crazed,
It's
bro.
only the eyes.
Huh?
Bring it up to the camera, show us.
That is madness.
That's a different
So
nose.
that was me. That was about circa 2013, and I'd been in the rainforest for a couple of months, so I was quite sort of grizzly. But yeah, that was me with hair before it all pissed off.
Bro, your eyes are so far apart.
Why are you looking like that?
I don't know. I think I was just a bit angry or something, or maybe I was trying to do like a sexy, intense look or something.
Your eyes are so far apart.
I don't know. I think they're the same distance that they've always been.
No.
I like that hair. I like that hair.
I feel like your nose.
Oh yeah, no, I like that hair as well. But anyway, I used to wear 2 bandanas, white and black, and white and blue actually. No, just when I was travelling for heat purposes, and I thought it looked cool at the time, and it actually looked really lame. But my favourite one was the white one. To answer your question.
Oh my god.
Like it.
That is madness. Bro.
If you could have any YouTuber play against you on Stat Wars, who would you pick?
Oh, depends if you want the easy win or if you actually want some entertainment value.
You want a bit of both, don't you? Really?
I would pick Dobrik.
Dobrik,
just because anything could
he'd
happen
know
in that
nothing.
room.
Yeah,
Dobrik, anything could happen in the room. You guarantee an easy win. He's probably bringing snakes, lizards, and a team of cheerleaders in with him.
Obba, who do you reckon?
I don't know. When you say YouTuber, are these people on YouTube or actual YouTubers?
YouTubers. Why did you say that?
It can be both.
You can say me, mate. I know.
If they're made famous
I'm coming for you. We got our round 2. I'd want to face Big G, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Big G in the spaceship. That would be nuts.
We can make that. I reckon
we can make that happen.
That would be
Don Straps would turn me over last season, so there's nothing to say Big G.
I've always kind of wanted to take DT down a peg or two.
Oh, I would love you to do that.
So I quite like to take.
I should get in the thing with Mark Goldbridge. Actually,
we're quite different personalities, me and DT. So
I would pay to see you and Goldbridge in a ring for 5 minutes.
That would finish very quick.
But stay tuned for FDFC. There's a big game coming out soon, and there might be a bit of a clash.
Yeah.
Next one. Most underrated TV show of all time.
My Wife and Kids.
Underrated.
My Wife and Kids,
100%.
Yeah.
I think the most underrated is Lost, seasons 1 to 3.
Is that underrated?
How many seasons was it?
There was very rated. Way too many.
So then how is it underrated then? You can't say seasons 1 to 3.
Because I actually think seasons 1 to 3 is up there with like your Breaking Bads and your House of Cards and stuff like that. Nobody ever talks about it in that conversation because the last 2 seasons were absolutely embarrassing.
Do you guys watch Blackadder?
No.
Oh, I think that's really underrated. I also think this police program called The Thin Blue Line, which you might not have heard of, that's exceptional with Rowan Atkinson. So yeah, those are my 2 underrated.
Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Sons of Anarchy. That's very underrated.
Terrible.
No, it's not.
Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Also, if you've just tuned into the stream, welcome. We are actually streaming Ajax versus Spurs, but it's half time at the moment. And Tense has insisted on doing a quiz. So we're just doing a quiz for now. But yeah, welcome. We'll get back to football in a second, but we're just doing some personal questions with Tense.
It's half time of football.
Wait, what's that Curb Your Action? I thought you were saying
Curb Your
something.
Curb Your Enthusiasm. See, this is why it's underrated. Regular people don't even know what it is.
But you don't watch Game of Thrones, so you're not regular.
You should. There's a documentary about a guy who was convicted of murder, and then Curb Your Enthusiasm actually proved he was innocent because he was in he had an alibi because he was in the background of that movie.
We're going to get beckoning for quiz time to come a bit closer.
Quiz time to come closer. Next question is, what album are you listening to right now?
Album?
Psychodrama, Dave. I think that's a very good album that I just haven't stopped listening to.
Joe?
Don't listen to a huge amount of albums.
He just listens to beats.
Don't listen to a huge amount of albums.
You're listening to a set at the moment.
Not a bad shout. Gorgon City and Camel Fat at Coachella is a set I have had on repeat for about.
So you genuinely just listen to sets?
No, well, I listen to a lot of different stuff, but I very rarely sit down and listen to an entire album back to back. Like I'm not.
So you don't have like a favourite artist?
I've got. No, not necessarily. I wouldn't say I've got like a person that I'm really keen to listen to. I can't wait for that album to drop.
Okay, that's mad. But you look forward to
because
like
mine's more
DJs
like DJs and stuff who are going to drop individual tracks, or like that they're going to have a really good set release. Than it is I'm going to wait and have a 10 single album.
Joe's pretty sick, in case you hadn't realised.
Right, what's yours then?
I actually really weird. I actually don't listen to music that much.
That's crazy.
I'm a podcast man. I genuinely don't listen to music.
Have you got a whole day without listening to music?
No, because we're in the office. We're always listening. But if
I
wasn't in the office, I don't listen to music.
That's mad. You need music to add rhythm to your life.
I enjoy it when I do, but I'm just not that bothered.
Alright, so what was the last album you listened to?
I'd love if you said like Meek Mill Championships or something.
Razorlight.
Who was I listening to? I've got a
somewhere only we know.
I've got a Bath playlist, which is mainly Lana Del Rey. So
yeah, of course you do. You're famous
Lana Del Rey or DJ Khaled.
Puts his bandana on and gets some.
Two very different things.
Lana Del Rey, DJ
Khaled.
Young, Dumb and Broke. It's a great. Anyway.
That's not DJ Khaled, that's just Khaled.
Oh shit, there we go.
Two different hours.
Oh my days.
I'm actually going to see Khaled in October.
He was going to turn up and think DJ Khaled. Another one.
Where's Young
He turned up and see DJ Khaled said, who's this guy?
When does he sing?
He's lost weight.
Oh my days, that is funny.
Final question. If you didn't work in football, where would you work? Where would you love to work? Not where would you end up. Where would you actually like to work?
Where would I like to work? I think is this started? Sorry, is this the second half?
No.
It's the time.
Oh God, I actually don't know. I really enjoy working in football.
Yeah, I wouldn't really want to do anything. I'd work in another sport ideally, but if not a sport, I don't know. My brother does insurance. They seem to mostly have lunch.
I work in insurance. It's not.
Quite like having lunch.
Insurance isn't great.
Really?
Yeah, I've worked in it. Definitely not.
Fair enough. But it seemed like a lot of drinking, just having nice lunches, so I quite like that.
Llorente's on half time for
Wanyama.
Ah, we said it.
Yeah, but
that's a good
I'll
change.
probably just act.
Yeah,
You
can sing as
Go
well.
on, do a line now. Ready?
Do a line.
Just,
About Fernando Llorente.
drop in and just do a bit of ad lib.
For about what? Like you got to give me a
Okay,
Fernando
we're
Llorente
going
coming
to
on
give
in
you
the
a
second
scenario.
half.
We're giving you Fernando Llorente in a nightclub that he's about to be thrown out of a nightclub. Go.
But he's in love with a woman in there.
I need more than this, bro. Like
That's a lot.
You're Fernando Llorente. You are Fernando Llorente. Bouncers are kicking you out of a club, and there's a girl in there that you really like.
I need to stand up in that, man. Alright, let me just sit down. What, you the girl that I like and that, yeah?
Yeah.
Alright, say nothing. And scene. Hey, amo.
Te amo.
Hey, you like that beginning though? That beginning was kind of, you saw the rugged drunk.
Oh, someone clip that out. Please, somebody clip
I
that
couldn't
out.
look because I was convinced I was going to
Somebody
laugh.
clip from where he goes
I
scene
let him out.
and tweet it to me. Please, I beg you now, clip from where he goes scene and then tweet it to me.
You know that's coming.
I'm coming for a
please.
screen near
That's
you.
coming in.
Don't worry.
Whoever's
it's coming.
watching that.
That's brilliant. We'll
Please.
get back to some role play later, but we're about to kick off
Yeah, that
in
was
the second half. Spurs.
Role play. You can do your own role play.
Have you never? That's role play. Have you never done? Sorry, I'm getting very distracted. Obviously, Spurs are 2-0 down away at Ajax. They look like they're going out of the Champions League. They're 3-0 down. Patrick Kluivert looking delighted, along with Bobby Martinez in the stands. I think Ronald Koeman, I saw him earlier. So there's quite a few celebs watching Ajax dominate Spurs. But Temps, let's get our first question of the second half.
Yeah, sorry, so that was the end of personal questions, quickfire round.
Quiz
if you want to
time.
submit yours next week, join our Discord. Atkins will put it in the comments. And our next question is from Not You Again. It says, Coutinho has been told he can leave Barcelona. This is according to like various rumours. What club should go after him?
I would say Chelsea if they could sign anyone.
How much do you think
It
it'll
would
be
be a
worth?
great move as a
It'd be a
replacement.
great move for Chelsea.
How much do you think it'll be worth after this season? It's got to go down in value.
Well,
Can't go
they
up.
keep on underselling their own asset. I've seen them talk about how supposed sources talking to ESPN today saying he doesn't fit in with the system. He's not necessarily what Valverde wants.
Just doesn't look himself.
The thing to do when you're trying to sell something in any walk of life is not to talk it down. So
Yeah.
start with that. So I think he'd probably be, what was he last time? 142? He'd be 100 probably. I think he has lost that much value. But I don't think they should get rid of him. I think he'd be a great... I mean, any manager that potentially comes into Barcelona will want Coutinho in his squad. He's so versatile compared to a number of positions. Yes, he hasn't hit his best form in a Barcelona shirt, but you don't get rid of Coutinho unless you're an absolute idiot, in my opinion.
Really? But he's had a season and a half and he's not been that great. Like he's not looked like. I feel like it's a confidence thing as well. He just doesn't look himself.
Barca do not play with a 10. That's his position.
Yeah.
But I don't know where he could fit in.
PSG.
Really?
Yeah, PSG.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's outrageous.
Oh! That was nearly the start
Who was that?
Spurs were looking for. De Ligt skewed it, but he went for an overhead kick. I'm not sure who put the ball in.
It was a great ball. I think it was Dele Alli just shifting.
Right,
it.
Spurs literally need this to go in the next sort of 4 or 5 minutes to really get some belief behind them.
If
need
they
3
come
goals.
back from this,
I think I'd
anything
quit.
is
I'd quit.
possible.
that'll be
Right.
an absolute.
What would you
madness.
do, Oba?
I'll be angry, obviously, but I'll have to rate it. I'll have to rate it.
Yeah, no, they're not going to come back from this. They're not going to come back.
I will.
Ajax are way too
If they come back
organised,
from this, I'll slap Hamill in UCL review tomorrow.
Okay,
You need
and
to do that
hard.
anyway.
Okay.
Brakes on.
Oh, hey, switch. Oh, that's
Oh,
a
that's
poor
a
Rubbish
poor
ball by
ball.
Van den
And he
Beek.
took so much time to pass it.
Hello.
Oh, it's still on though.
Oh.
No, just about.
Okay, so unexpectedly, just a slap on the face.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
As we start his section.
Come on, Tottenham!
Oh, that'd be so good for FD clips as well, wouldn't it? Imagine. That first goal comes in, I'm getting a bit nervous. Slapping the boss.
Yeah, no, I think Coutinho to PSG. I think that'd be a good move for both parties. I think.
Back to Liverpool?
No.
I don't think they want him.
He won't go back to Liverpool. They don't need him.
Not with Naby Keita.
Naby Keita works so much better in that midfield three than Coutinho does.
Yeah, it's crazy. Him leaving is such a
Whereas you just play that
disguise.
free role at PSG, man. Like that's exactly what he'll do over there. He'll just wear sort of Di Maria in between the lines of the Di Maria sort of space.
Yeah.
So he'll just pick up and maybe they shift Di Maria on or they shift Cavani on.
Well, interesting you say that, because another rumour in Transfer Talk this week that I wrote about was Di Maria supposedly being heavily linked with a move to Barca, which is weird
So
considering
weird.
he's 31.
Why did they do moves like the random moves?
I don't
like
get that. To be
31?
fair, I think it's paper talk, to be brutally honest.
Di
But
Maria's always in
But
the
you would
paper.
have thought Boateng's move to Barca was paper talk until it actually happened.
yeah, true. But that was almost too unbelievable that you knew it might happen, because it was just so random. Like, no one could have ever scripted that.
So is this though.
No one would sit at a paper desk and be like, you know who's moving to Barcelona? Kevin Prince Boateng, because everyone would be like, shut up.
Yeah, literally.
Like, why have you wasted your time right now?
Yeah, exactly.
Where has he actually been? Is he injured?
He was at
He was at
Frankfurt.
Sassuolo.
No,
yeah,
as in like
yeah.
now. Like where is he?
Oh no, he's around.
Rotting in the reserves.
He played in a couple of Copa del Rey games.
Rotting in the backbenches.
Not the best signing from Barcelona. But
Horrible
yeah,
move.
interesting start to the second half. Spurs sort of dominating the ball without doing much with it. But yeah, they've got technically 32 minutes to score 3 goals. No, 42 minutes. Sorry, my maths is appalling. So long way to go in this game yet, but a long way back for Spurs. Temps, what are the people asking?
Go on, Danny. Well done.
Yes, Oliver. Hold on.
What is that? Such a good run, and then he just goes for this
Terrible final.
flaccid chip.
That's one thing that I have the problem I have with Rose. Players like Rose, Walker, and Rose and Walker are the main culprits. They get in such good positions, but their final ball is so bad. Like every single time.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think Rose has definitely pulled out his best crosses there.
Dolberg's getting booked.
Trippier is normally so good. His crossing's normally his strength,
Yeah,
but I don't think
yeah.
in this game he's really picked anyone out. But they need to get Llorente more into the game. It'll be interesting to see whether they can get balls into him, because that is
such a
where he
bad ball.
proffers.
So much time.
You know who really needs to step up this half as well? I thought he showed it in glimpses last half. Obviously Son, but Dele Alli. This is a game that you take by the scruff of the neck if you can. Side desperate need. This is do or die really for Spurs.
Is he that type of player though? Like I don't like with Ali. I think he's such a good player, but sometimes I think
He's missing a bit.
Yeah, Poch uses him wrong-ish. Like he's one of those players that is supposed to like be the making those like Lampard runs into the box, yeah. But I feel like now he's a bit too further out. Like he's trying to play make too much.
Yeah.
Like he needs to
I
get.
think he tries
He needs
to
to get.
do too much as
Yeah.
well with the ball. Like just tries little flicks. He's quite flashy in the way he plays now.
Yeah, I think you might
I
be
kind
right.
of agree with you. I think he's actually becoming a little bit of a victim of being incredibly
a Swiss Army knife,
versatile.
yeah.
He's becoming a little bit of a victim in that sense, in that he can play as a CM or an AM, or he can also play as a second striker. You know, he can play all across that sort of area.
But his
He
best
hasn't
position-
locked down one area.
Yeah. But I think his best position is that like second striker.
I
type
agree. That's where he
attacking.
was absolutely killing it.
But
for
that's where
Spurs
he's playing
2 years
tonight,
ago,
isn't it? And it's like he's been fairly ineffectual in there.
Oh, I think it's different. I mean, Spurs haven't really had the ball in dangerous areas so far, really. They've had a fair bit of it 45 yards out, but they need to start playing it around the box a bit more. I mean, there's not that many options making good movement in the box.
Beat
Left
him,
one-on-one.
beat him. He's 1-on-1.
Look at their options now in the box,
Sonny's
or around
not
the
having
box.
his best
No
game,
one's.
is he?
No, I mean it's so passive. Look at everyone just standing still. Move, get the ball, move, pass. Oh, it's just so slow.
Yeah, they're moving like they don't.
They're moving like they don't believe, which you
Yeah.
can understand if you're 3-0 down technically.
I think
in
that this
time.
is all right. This is an all right period of attack for Tottenham.
I think it's a bit.
It's fairly
Not
sustained.
going
It's a
anywhere,
bit
is it?
slow.
It's a little bit slow, but this is probably one of the best
Okay.
periods of attack I've seen
Corner.
from
Sorry, I
Tottenham
got a
in a
bit
while.
excited about that.
Like it's a little bit slow, but this is the best sustained period of pressure we've seen from Tottenham all game, really. Other than that one time where they had 2 chances in quick succession, and now they've brought Llorente on. They can look to shuffle it
They've got
wide
some-
and get
yeah.
it into the box with him and Dele's height in the middle.
And in many ways, they
Yeah,
don't
they've
want
got
it
a
too
bit of-
helter-skelter and everyone running all over the place, because if Ajax counter and get another goal, well, it's pretty much tie over already, but it will officially be over. So they've got to play quite controlled. But I just want to see them move the ball a bit.
Llorente's going to bang in. I got a feeling.
It's a great header from Frankie de Jong.
Just hit him on the leg or something.
I think they're gonna. That's a foul.
Also, if you are joining us after 51 minutes at this tie, it's Ajax 2, Spurs 0, 3-0 to Ajax on aggregate. Welcome to Eurofootball Daily. Please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell to never miss a video. Templeman, are people giving any hope to Spurs in the comment section?
They aren't. I think all the Spurs fans have left the comment section.
Sonny's gone home.
Ajax, yeah.
Really?
I do want to hear from Sonny right now, though. But Oliver's asking, do you guys follow any teams outside of the English leagues? Like in the same way that Kieran follows Schalke?
James behind the camera is wagging his finger.
Does.
I think he's a Kaiserslautern fan now.
Is he?
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
I don't really. I've sort of the belief that you can't really follow two teams, or at least not completely. I think you can like obviously more than one team, but I'm not really on board with this whole. Oh, I've got a team in Spain, I've got a team in Italy, I've got a team in Germany. Is my personal opinion.
I think it's.
What about you, Albert? Do you have any affection?
I follow. Not another team.
Charles.
Oh, what a pass!
That's a great.
Oh, what a save!
What a save by Onana.
What a save by
Onana. Ridiculous.
My guy.
Great ball by Ericsson. Great ball by Ericsson. He's got to score.
Joe, talk us through it.
No, I think it's Sam, innit?
Oh, sorry.
Big old
Yeah, it's
Tottenham
the
chance.
Spurs. You're doing the Spurs. What happened?
Oh yeah, Ericsson, a beautiful ball into the box to find Ali, and he should have. He did everything right. Onana just made a
value. It's just a great save.
brilliant save, and that's Llorente over the
Need
bar.
those to start going in though, don't they, mate?
I think they've had their best chances in the game though. Like in the first half, they had like 3 or 4.
This is it.
Left foot as well. What a pass!
Oh, I mean, he's
got to score.
That is.
But
just
what
such
else
a
does he
good
have to do
save.
there?
Maybe go back across the keeper.
I
He
think
just
you
sort
can
of
really
falls into the ball, doesn't he? Yeah.
He done everything right.
Straight
I
at the
agree with
keeper.
Sam.
To get that on target isn't even that easy.
I think, I totally agree. I think that's an epic save.
I think in the next 5 minutes, I think you'll probably see Ajax look to take Dolberg off for Klaas-Jan Huntelaar. I think he's been pretty ineffectual so far, 53 minutes in, and they're getting deeper and deeper. Klaas offers a little bit better protection of the ball up front. Maybe he uses experience, his guile to come on and affect the game. I think they'll probably look to bring him on fairly soon.
Yeah. We have seen Spurs come out this second half and look slightly
stronger,
more.
yeah.
I think so. Slightly more energised. They're getting into holding onto the ball a lot better than they did in the first half, creating a couple of opportunities. I mean, particularly that one for Dele Alli was a gilt-edged chance. It's just a great save by Onana. But here we go. Ajax on the attack. Oh, well played, son. Mops it all up there.
Oh,
Danny!
Sorry.
Here we go.
Here
we go. On your left.
Just chip him.
Oh, he's done him. Mexed him.
Oh,
Yes,
well done.
finish! Yay!
Oh,
What
good
a
play.
goal!
That's a goal though.
Whoa.
That's a brilliant goal.
Can this be the
Counter-attack.
start of the comeback? That is unbelievable.
World-class counter-attack.
Got
Oh, but
game.
talk us
Absolutely
through that.
World-class counter-attack.
Oh, how did that even? That started from Rose Meg's in the lit on the edge of their box, and then he literally played a ball to.
Here we go.
Oh,
See you later, Delict. Danny, great ball into Son, and then he heads.
No, it's not. It's to
Lucas.
Moura. And then Dele slips one back inside. Moura could go down there, but he
What a
doesn't
goal.
continue. It's a
Oh,
great finish.
such a calm finish from
Very
Lucas
quick,
Moura.
yeah. I think
That
Dele Alli
is
wanted
really
that
composed.
himself anyway.
Takes a touch away from
That's a
Shona,
brilliant finish.
finishes
Yeah,
into
it's
Onana's bottom left-hand corner. So that's
Game on.
2-1 on the night, 3-1 on aggregate. Game on maybe a bit too far now, but a great start to the second half from Spurs.
This was my prediction. It stays like this. Just saying.
This is true. This is
why
true.
are you thinking like that? You've done it like that.
Game on.
You definitely done it like that.
Doogie slapping Hamill.
Yeah,
Game
get
on.
Get that ham warmed up, boy.
Oh, he's gonna get such a surprise. Wet hand coming in. Oh, unbelievable. Okay, so we've got a bit of a game on our hands. Spurs, Temps. Are the people giving any hope to Spurs?
I think they've just rejoined the chat.
Yeah.
And they are. They've gone
Yes.
mad. They've piped up. We can hear you, Spurs fans. Dylan Jones has the next question. Who says, what player can Tottenham realistically sign to cover Harry Kane? Obviously not the best in terms of fitness over a season, is he, Harry Kane?
I think probably someone that they could aim for, the sort of level that they could aim for to cover Harry Kane. Someone like Callum Wilson at Bournemouth. I've been really
say that as well.
Yeah, I've been
But I don't
really
think
impressed with him
I don't
this year. I think he will cost, as Joe says, as Joe intonates, upwards of 50 million. But I think if Spurs want to compete on multiple fronts, they're going to have to get a top striker in. And he is a top striker. He's obviously not in the elite bracket,
But I think he's finished with over 10 goals for 3 Premier League seasons in a row, I think. Obviously he has his injury issues as well, but I think he's still 26. He's now a sort of semi-permanent member of the England squad. Things are looking up for Callum Wilson in Bournemouth, and if you could get him out of Bournemouth to be backup for Harry Kane, I think he'd be happy with that, which is crucial as well, because they're not going to get an elite player in to come in and play second fiddle. So it's a tough one to do. I mean, Joe, have you got any thoughts
I don't know
on
whether
this?
I would try and sign an out-and-out 9. I think that's probably too costly for Tottenham. 9's always, like, out-and-out strikers always cost more, don't they? So I think that's probably a little bit too costly. I'd maybe look for a player in a sort of Son mould who can slot in as a 9 when you need him to, but can also offer an option from wide.
Okay.
Obviously, like a player like Nicola Pepe, I think would be perfect for that sort of area. Whether or not they can compete with a Bayern Munich or a
Man United potentially.
Yeah, I think they can compete with United now. To be totally honest, United.
Oh no, I just meant financially. I don't know.
Oh yeah, maybe not financially, but like I think Bayern Munich's a more viable option. I just don't think they can afford to go and get an out-and-out 9 because you just stick 30 mil on the price tag of a 9 just because he's a lone striker, and then look to basically do what they've done with Son. Come on, Sonny.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, look at the space.
Finish!
No!
Finish!
Oh,
my
no
days!
way!
Oh, so Trippier.
Still on!
What's happening?
Yes! A goal from Lucas Moura!
What is going on?
2 goals for Lucas Moura. 2-2 on the night, 3-2 on aggregate. Talk us through it, Sam, because there was a good chance for Son beforehand.
No, for Llorente.
For Llorente. God, I'm going absolutely mental.
Oh no! What is going on? Tottenham have just turned it on out of nowhere.
I mean, what's that? 2 goals in about 6 minutes?
Look at
But
the
look at that
space,
save
man.
though. How did Llorente miss that?
That's a great save.
It's a great
And
save.
then those two have a
the
nightmare.
player.
Look at these feet from Lucas.
Yeah,
Look
Lucas
at that
Moura,
feet.
that is unreal.
Delict on the line. Can do nothing
Lasashona
about
and
it.
Onana have had an absolute howler here. Look.
That is a phenomenal. Yeah, one of them's got to go for it.
Oh wow!
I think that's Lasashona's fault
How
getting
is
in the
he-
way there. Oh, and he's done Frankie de Jong with quick feet, turns it into the bottom corner.
Fair play to him there. How has he done that?
Oh my God!
2 away goals as well now. So if Spurs score the next goal, it's game over.
Yeah.
Because then
Goal
Ajax
check.
have
Why are they
got-
doing a goal
Yeah, there's no
check?
penalties. No penalties over there.
I'm a goal away from slapping
Why are they
Hamill
doing
on
a goal
UCL
check,
review.
though?
This
Why-
is incredible. Why are they doing a goal check? What was wrong with that? There was nothing wrong with that by my looks.
They always have to
Unless
do it,
someone was offside on that Trippier initial
Okay,
ball.
it's fine. All right. So 1 goal.
Is he always the referee? I swear he is always the
Look at the
referee.
jaw on him
He
as
is
well.
permanently the referee.
Is it Wolfgang Stark?
Someone like that.
So basically now, if Tottenham score next, Ajax are out.
Yeah.
Oh my
gosh.
God! What is happening?
They looked so comfortable about 10 minutes ago.
And now they are in absolute disarray, mate.
I mean, can anyone put any sense on what's happened in the last 10 minutes?
Great
Joe,
game,
can you
though.
do your best?
Ajax have not put together a coherent move since the turn of the half. The change of bringing Fernando Llorente on for Victor Wanyama
Changed the
has
game.
worked miracles for Pochettino by giving them a focal point, allowing Heung-min Son to drift a little bit further
was wrong.
left. Heung-min
Go
Son,
on, go on,
Heung-min
punish them.
Son's offering a really good option on the left and occupying defenders.
Well, there we go.
Here's a chance.
Oh, this
Well,
space.
Hakim.
Why you hit that? Why has he hit that?
He said, why you hit that?
And I think that's
Hit
just
that.
changed the whole
Just play
game.
someone in.
Heung-min Son coming out left to allow Llorente to occupy De Ligt has really changed the game for him.
I think, yeah, it just seems like Spurs players have had so much more time on the ball as well. They seem like they can build their moves a lot better than the first half. Ajax have sort of dropped off the pace as Spurs have come onto it, I think. And, you know, Trippier with a great ball across. We've got to give him some credit after hammering him so much in this game.
Llorente away.
And then gives a great chance to Llorente. And then Lucas Moura, fantastic feet in the box. I don't know how he managed to do that. Yes, it's a defensive error from Onana and Lasashona, but really good feet from Lucas Moura. 2-2. Game on. Could we be seeing another remarkable comeback?
See there how Llorente is occupying. Llorente's doing a really good job.
Yeah, you
up
got to say,
front.
bringing him on has actually made a massive difference.
Yeah, I've
Just
got to
'cause of
hold
the
my hands
options
up there, and
they've
I was completely wrong on that.
Oh
Look at him
my
here, look at him,
goodness.
He's causing
Unreal.
such a nuisance to himself.
Oh!
Maybe a bit
Look at that
ambitious,
play.
Fernando, but you know,
Come on.
worth a shot.
Get
You won't
a
put-
grip.
Yeah, get a grip of yourself. You won't do that at Swansea, don't
Oh,
you?
okay, Temps. Are they as jubilant as we are? Well, actually, I think I'm the only one that's jubilant. You guys
Yeah,
both
there isn't
wanna
many
answer.
questions firing in because everyone's just saying the scoreline for some reason. We know the scoreline. We've got a question though from Twitter, which is from Maddie, who says, this is moving on to Liverpool. Does Jurgen Klopp need a trophy at Liverpool just to confirm his legacy?
Of course.
I think it would just shut everyone up. It would be great if he won a trophy. I don't care whether it's the Carabao Cup at this time. I'm just there's so much chat about Liverpool being a failure until they win a trophy. Just win a trophy, get one in the bag, and then it can just shut it up. Does he need a trophy to cement his legacy? No. I think the amount he's improved them from when he took over to now is remarkable. He's pretty much sort of set up Liverpool for the next 5 years now with the signings he's made.
Oh my God, Daly!
Good effort from Daley Blind, but going over the bar. So no, I don't think he needs a trophy to cement his legacy. But if he wants to be remembered as an all-time Liverpool great, then yeah, sure.
Yeah, I think legacy is a big word.
He's done a lot this season for Liverpool and last season.
I think legacy is a big word, in my opinion. And if he doesn't win a trophy, he won't have a legacy.
No, I won't have one.
Oh,
But he's going to win a trophy. He will win a trophy.
I'm not so sure I agree. I think his legacy will be the improvements that he's made, the squad he's left. Yeah, it won't be a legacy that's laden with silverware.
Goal.
Oh
my God! Put the tie to bed. Put the tie to bed.
Talk to me, mate.
Ball is put across the box by Dusan Tadic, 10 yards out. Tap it into the net. Hakim Ziyech on his left foot. Skewed it wide.
Again, Ziyech just ghosting into the box, complete freedom.
It just doesn't catch. It comes off his heel. Just comes off his heel.
Must be a foot and a half wide. Lloris completely
Come on, Ajax!
stranded. Come on,
no.
Spurs.
Oh no!
As if. Brilliant, Dylan.
Well played. I get this.
Dolberg needs to come off.
Yeah, I'm with you. I was just about to say, Joe, I'm completely
nothing.
with you now. I don't think he's had his best game by any stretch of the imagination.
Trouble.
Delhi's
He's going to go for a little.
Well.
Come on, move it, mate. No. Go on. No!
Oh my
Lucas
word!
Moura!
Stop.
It is all happening.
It is happening.
Lucas Moura has been at the forefront of.
You man said that he should come off.
Yeah,
you said he should come off. These guys saved their game.
He has. He stepped up in quite a few games now, Lucas Moura. This year, obviously had that fantastic game at Old Trafford earlier in the year. Had a great Champions League game as well.
This is literally written for Llorente to score the winner.
Oh my Lord! It's another corner. That's another corner.
Goal kick.
Oh, ref! That felt like a corner. Oh my goodness! I cannot believe Tottenham have got 2 away.
They've got a lot of threats now on the pitch with Fernando Llorente as well. I think it is. You're right. It's occupying Daley Blind and De Ligt, and Lucas Moura and Dele Alli seem to have a lot more joy running off them as well. So it's an exciting time for Spurs. Sonny and Danny Pape will be going absolutely nuts. So yeah, if you have just joined us on the stream, welcome aboard. It's 3-2 to Ajax. These 2-1 Ajax, or these 3-1 Ajax. I think I want Spurs. It's all happening. We've got 26 minutes. My maths is absolutely failing me all the time consistently. But yeah, 26 minutes left of this tie. 3-2 to Ajax. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new to it. Hit that notification bell. Temps. What is happening in the comment section?
Dylan Jones is back again with a question. Cheers, Dylan.
Llorente has actually changed the game completely.
What do you think about Manchester City signing Bruno Fernandes, and how do you think he'll fare in the Premier League?
So I did a couple of tweets about this yesterday. The Sky Sports News report. It's a free kick to Ajax. Sky Sports News report yesterday was saying that he's a replacement for Fernandinho. He is not a replacement for Fernandinho. Bruno Fernandes is a 10 or a 6. He can play in a midfield 3 or he can play behind a striker. And he has had an incredible year. I think it's something like 19 goals and 11 assists in the Liga NOS. Incredible. Being captain of Sporting Lisbon for a couple of years now. Nearly left last summer when he was attacked at the training ground. But stayed, signed a new 5-year contract. And it looks like it's going to happen in the next few days for 50 to 60 million pounds. But for me, this is a Gundogan replacement. Or it's Pep being like, KDB has had numerous injury issues now. We need to have another KDB-esque similar sort of player. And Bruno Fernandes is only 24, I believe. And with David Silva 33, this is a good signing for the future.
Really coming out of it.
I'm pissed off with the analysis that it's a Fernandinho replacement. He's nothing like that. But I think good signing.
I think there's only 2 games this season where Bruno Fernandes hasn't been involved in a goal at Sporting.
Yeah.
So he's definitely not a DM.
Great record.
Unless Pep does some madness.
I don't really see that happening. But there's so much chat about Gundogan being unhappy with his role at City. So yeah, maybe he'll be leaving. David Silva obviously not getting any younger. So I think it's a signing for the future. I'm not convinced that he'll necessarily hit the ground running. He didn't have the best of time in Italy with Udinese and Sampdoria, but we shall see. We shall see. Sam, if you were Pep Guardiola, one thing that you might have to deal with this summer is left back. Do you think you put your trust in Benjamin Mendy, or do you sign a left back?
You sign a left back, man. Mendy's proven that he can't last a season, and I think they've not been lucky, but they've had good utility players that have filled in with Delph the first season. Now Zinchenko, but I don't know, like with Mendy, the only thing is with Mendy, do you give him one more year and say, okay, knowing that they've got Zinchenko and they've got Delph that can fill in, do you give him one more year and say this is your last chance, or do you sell him and then just get a replacement with? There's a few left backs that they could get right now as well. So I don't know. I like him, so I would say give him one more year, but he's so injury prone, man.
Yeah, I don't think he helps himself as well with that story a couple of weeks ago about him going out the night before he was supposed to be training. I think it was after a game in London. Obviously not a great example when City have spent so much money on you, spend so much money on your rehab, and you're not really showing the attitude that you want to be, really making an impact there long term. Obviously he's played well in short patches, but 2 really serious injuries. I'd be looking at a new left back this year either way, because I don't think you can expect. I mean, they've got away with it in the Premier League this year, but I don't think you can get away with it in the Champions League too long. Having Zinchenko or Delph as your starting left back, as much as I rate Zinchenko in particular. So yeah, that's what I'd sort of suggest for City this summer. Thames, what are the people saying?
There's a lot.
Gosh,
People spamming our comments.
Sinkgraven's just come on as well, by the way, for Ajax for Kasper Dolberg, who we thought would come off.
I don't know Sinkgraven.
He's kind of a left back. He's basically a left back.
Go on. Oh.
He's basically a left back. He can operate in midfield, but it looks like he's come on as like a left winger, and then they've shifted Dusan Tadic to the forward role.
Okay.
So basically, he's going to be like a defensive left-sided player.
Yeah. A bit of afters between Ziyech and Ali. Ali, as usual, being at the centre of any, meddling going on, mind games.
What happens here then? Not much, I don't think.
Someone who I've been pretty impressed with this half. I think Danny Rose has been really good when he's got on the ball and put in a couple of crucial challenges as well. But don't lose your head, Dele Alli. Don't lose your head.
Looks like that was a bit of Ziyech there. Either way, Ajax are rattled. We can all agree
really
Ajax are absolutely
100%.
rattled
I mean,
right now.
have they had a great? I can't
Spurs
remember any
great in
clear
the
cut
last
opportunities
20
in the second half. Spurs getting hold of the ball, really looking much more
It's
comfortable.
Lorente. Every time they get the ball, he wins. He's winning everything.
Dominating.
Yeah.
He's dominating the league there, and he's dominating Daley Blind comfortably.
Yeah, I also think Pochettino, I'd love to be a fly on the wall in what he said at that half-time dressing room, because Spurs look a completely different side. Look at Lorente winning that ball, Dele Alli running behind, doesn't come to anything there, but they need to get players in and around Lorente, because they are, 21 minutes. I think they can win this game, Spurs, and go through on away goals. So it's all to play for.
Oh, gosh, I can't breathe. Yes, go on.
Having
Punish
said
them.
that, having
Punish
said
them.
that,
Space is it.
Punish
yeah.
it. You know what you got to do now, Ziyech. Oh, what's the ball? Why are you taking that off him?
that's a great
Why
challenge.
did Dusan Tadic take it off?
Why did you
Sinkgraven?
take it off him? Fair enough, he's
What a challenge
from
from Trippier. Credit where credit's due.
Why
That
did
was a great
Tadic take that
challenge.
off Sinkgraven?
He was literally on his foot to just
You
bang
got to
it.
call that clearer. You got to call that from those two.
I can't
Well
believe
played,
that.
Tadic, taking a touch in there.
Completely killed the momentum there.
They're really struggling though at the moment, aren't they? The game is so fractured.
It's too open, man.
So fractured right now.
Oh. Well played. Away.
Well played.
Good header.
Well
That's
played.
Get out to him. Close
Get out
him
to him,
down.
man. Danny Rose
Good ball.
sleeping.
What
What is Larry doing? It's another Larry howler. What is he doing?
Oh, finish!
away.
Oh, my days!
What is Hugo Lloris doing? Hugo Lloris is having a nightmare
He should have
5
just got
minutes.
away
Get
with that.
hold of the ball,
Oh,
Hugo,
come
for
on.
goodness sake.
Oh my goodness, right. 20 minutes left. If you are new, welcome aboard. It's 2-2. Ajax going through as it stands, but Spurs needs 1 goal to join Liverpool in the Champions League final. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe to it. Hit that notification bell to never miss a video. Thames, what are the people saying with 20 minutes to go?
Yes, Just has said, who is the most underwhelming signing of the season?
Ooh.
I'm actually writing a top 10 worst signings of the season at the moment. My number 1,
Just getting each
I
other's way,
won't
man.
reveal. Actually, I will. It's coming out Saturday. Tomo Lamar, £70 million for Atletico, been pretty useless. Golovin for Monaco hasn't worked out. I'd also put Fred for Man United in there, Joe. What have you made of Fred?
For 50 million, he's not been good enough. He's showed signs in patches that he is a useful player, and I'm sure in a coherent squad, he'd actually work. Like, if you stuck him in Pep, he'd probably look like a bloody well beater. But it's just...
Oh, come on.
Nobody looks good at United, do they?
No.
Literally nobody looks good at United. Not even De Gea looks good at United. So I feel a bit for Fred, to be honest with you. I feel a little bit for him because it's even harder coming into a team that's got no shape and structure.
Yeah. I mean, Obba, we talked a bit about Jorginho earlier, one of your big summer signings. But no, not anywhere near it. But another one of your big signings was Kepa. What have you made of his first season?
I think he's been all right. I think he's had a few mistakes. Obviously, the thing that happened in the Carabao Cup was a bit mad. But apart from that, he's made some big saves. And with that price tag on top of him, that was one of the best saves this season.
Agree.
So
did you see the angle from behind the goal?
Yeah, it was mad. It was mad. Like, I genuinely think he's been good.
Yeah.
Like, obviously with the price tag, everyone's going to say, "Oh, he should be exceptional. He shouldn't be letting it." But he's been worth the price tag to a certain extent. You know, you could see that he's improving as he's playing.
You're hoping he's going to be worth that at some stage, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not necessarily nailed it down. Yeah, I'm a £78 million goalkeeper, but at the same time...
Oh, Llorente, man. What's happened to him?
He has come alive the second half, hasn't he?
Llorente is doing a madness.
Right, another corner to Spurs.
Corners are not good for Ajax, you know, with Llorente on. If they get that on his head, it's
You're worried, aren't you, for a Chelsea
Yes,
fan?
because Llorente's going to bang in. I've got a feeling.
Spurs potentially...
He's gonna,
I've got a feeling it's going to be one of the old Ajax boys coming back to bite their old team. Maybe an
Alderweireld or Ericsson.
Ripping open Super Jan
and they've got Davinson
at Leo and Cruyff Arena.
They've absolutely ripped Ajax.
Who was that?
In this Spurs lineup.
Oh, it was nearly one of them there.
Joe, Temps, what are the good people saying?
A lot of people are saying Sadio Mane to Real Madrid this summer as a possible transfer.
Be a disaster for Liverpool.
Yeah, I think he's on such a long-term contract. I think he cost a hell of a lot of money, and I don't think you'd sign Mane and Hazard. So I don't really necessarily get it.
Who would you take?
Yeah, you're from your point of view.
Obviously Hazard.
Yeah, I think you take Hazard.
Mane's got more goals than him. Like, come on.
Yeah, but look at he's got a year left in his contract. Hazard. He's going to cost less.
Yes,
he's a better footballer.
I know.
How old's Mane? I think Mane's 26.
Yeah, same age.
No, Hazard's 28, I think. So yeah, he's got a couple of years on him, but I think Hazard's a step above Mane, if I'm brutally honest. I think both are great players, but I think Hazard's in the elite wingers in the world. Category, I don't think Mane's quite there yet, despite his exceptional year this year.
Musa!
Here we go, Musa. So, Llorente, get in the box, mate.
Ajax, man, what is going on?
Yes! Love that.
They need to get more players in the box.
Got to show a bit more composure there from Lucas Moura, though. I know, great run, but come on.
Tottenham need to get more players in the box.
De Jong's been very quiet this half as well.
Second half, he's struggling.
Right, so we've only seen one change with Llorente coming on for an injured Wanyama at half-time. They've got Lamela on the bench. Would that be someone you'd potentially be looking to bring on, Sam?
Nah, not in the way they're moving now. I don't know who you take off.
I think they're pretty effective right now.
Keep it as it is.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be fiddling too much. Maybe a wing-back replacement.
And there can't be extra time in this game.
Look at that from Trippier. That's just
there's no point in
Yeah, there now cannot be extra time on penalties.
Look at the way they're losing, the way they're playing now,
That's
though.
great news,
They don't normally do that, man.
On a separate point, has anyone missed penalties in the Champions League this year? Haven't seen any. Really missed it.
Had any? We haven't, have we?
No. I don't think we've had any. Yeah, Tottenham.
Good challenge.
Very good challenge.
I've loved the comebacks of the Champions League this
year. Get it out your
Wouldn't
feet.
mind a penalty shootout every now and again.
Ref, is that not a foul?
The league, come on, son.
Right, so lads, it's time to put your money where your mouth is.
Definitely a handball. Oh, that's a yellow card.
Book him, then. Ref.
Book him.
Don't let him get away with that. Do not let. Thank you.
Thank you. What's his name? Wolfgang Stark.
No matter who goes through in this,
yeah,
Spurs or Ajax, do you see either of them beating Liverpool?
Yeah.
Really?
If Ajax go through, that's a fairy tale story that you can say, yeah, like they're just gonna win it, innit? But if Spurs go through, Liverpool are gonna win.
Joe, what do you think?
Nah, I think Liverpool will do the job over both these pretty comfortably. Nah. If Ajax give Liverpool this much time and space, Liverpool will punish the hell out of them.
Yeah, I've been a bit concerned.
Oi, Musa!
Days.
What is Musa doing?
Challenge.
I've been a bit concerned by Ajax's second half performance. The drop-off from their first is being dramatic.
That's always a thing, though. It's so easy to get complacent, man.
Yeah, they did get a little bit complacent. I agree with that.
I still don't think there's enough pressure on the ball either. They're not winning any of the second balls. Spurs are completely dominating in the air. If I was Ajax, I'd be incredidly concerned at the moment. 14 minutes to go. Spurs very much on top.
Oh, it's unnecessary.
Seriously, whoever's got the stats, I would love to see Fernando Llorente's amount of aerial duels he's won in 30 minutes.
He's literally won every one.
I think he must have won like 15 in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It's a bit dirty, but it's good. Oh, bloody hell. Goodbye with Danny Rose, though, isn't it? It was goodbye Danny Rose. Look at Musa running mad out there. Like, stop it, Musa.
Oh, just unfortunately it didn't quite go from there, but...
Crazy.
Right, 14 minutes to go.
I will not be able to actually take this.
What are the people saying?
Elliot is asking what our thoughts on the Gareth Bale situation. He's aged.
Did you watch that video today with Mr. Barnett? His agent. Yeah,
what did he say?
He said he's the second or third best player in the world. He said that whatever happens, Gareth will see out his 2022 contract. And in the same video, he admits that Zidane doesn't like him. He goes, look, Zidane doesn't like him, but he's under contract until 2022. So he will be here unless somebody pays huge money. Like, he's not going to just walk out the club, basically. Despite the fact Zidane doesn't want him here, he will be staying.
Does he not have some personal ambition? Does he not have some desire to be...
He's won everything.
He's won everything, but I get it. Exactly. All the more reason to go and become the main man of the club. I don't see the point in sitting on the bench for, what is it, another 3 years at Real Madrid. Your potential, the rest of your peak of your career is probably just past his peak now.
It's comfortable, isn't it?
Go and become the main man somewhere else. I get it if clubs aren't interested in him because he's got enormous wages, but from my own personal perspective, Bale, have some self-respect.
Oh, tell him.
Gareth, if you're watching, mate, come on.
I think Gareth is absolutely well within his right to sit there. I think he's been treated like absolute rubbish by Real Madrid.
In fairness, you call out Danny Drinkwater regularly for sitting on his £100,000.
But Danny Drinkwater is not scoring 20 goals a season and winning 3 Champions Leagues.
And scoring one of the best
Gareth
goals
Bale.
ever been
Gareth
seen
Bale
in the
is
Champions
hated by
League
his
final.
Real Madrid fans need to put some...
Punish them, please.
Real Madrid fans need...
He's hated by the fans, he's hated by his manager, and yet he's...
Go! Put it away, Hakim!
Oh, no! That was nearly all of it over for Spurs, all that comeback undone. Ziyech hitting the post.
Oh, no.
He's had 2 good chances now.
Ziyech.
Wow.
He is so deadly, though, Ziyech, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
As soon as Ziyech moves into that sort of position...
Good challenge.
Great challenge.
Good challenge.
He's just got such good technique on that left foot.
Oh, well played.
Lovely.
Get out of your feet. Sink Graven. Get out of your feet.
Well
Lucky
played.
Boy, that
Well
was
played.
not
That
a
was
foul.
lucky, though. That wasn't a
That was
foul.
not a foul.
Ooh.
I want to see
Ziyech,
more from Spurs
man.
this final 11.
Ziyech is so dangerous, isn't he?
Yeah,
Like,
he
every
really
time the
is.
ball gets to Ziyech's feet, you think it's goal.
He's got to finish that, though. They need to kill the time now. They need to kill it now.
He can't do that much more there, man.
The last 5 minutes, Spurs are going to just bombard them.
I mean, yeah.
Great shot.
If we're looking at the raw facts, like, Ajax have hit the post twice across 2 legs between Neres and Tadic. Lurie made that awesome save in that first half. I can't remember who it's from, I'm afraid. But Spurs have rode their luck. But this second half, they've been superb. Last 10 minutes slightly dropped off. But if they can get it back, it's on.
Where's the composure?
It really is on. It genuinely is. Ajax are falling apart here. Their minds are going. This is the problem with having such a young team, man. This is the main... Oh,
What
look at
a
Ziyech.
touch.
What a touch, man. Oh, my days.
Good
Got
challenge.
all the ball, Hakim.
Who was that? Jan. Lovely challenge. Go on, Jan.
Don't foul him.
Mate.
Ref.
Why is Danny
Ziyech needs to be
taking
careful.
time to
He's
pass
already
on?
been booked. Be very careful here, Ziyech.
Temps, what are the people saying?
Yes, Dylan has said, where should James... sorry, not James. James Rodriguez go this summer? That's very British of me calling him James.
James Rodriguez. Again,
Lamella's coming
in
on.
transfer talk this week.
Who's coming
he was
off those
linked
Sun?
with, obviously went out before Chelsea were banned. He was heavily linked with Chelsea. He was heavily linked with Man United. I don't think either of those moves work. Apparently, he's not in Zidane's good books. Obviously, he was the guy that sent him on that loan spell to 2-year loan spell to Bayern initially. I'm not quite sure where James Rodriguez goes. I think there's talks of him
What about
going...
Juve if
I
they
was just about to
lose
say, if they lose
Dybala?
Dybala, I think that's quite a good move.
They got Ramsey coming in as well.
I mean, could someone like AC...
I completely forget.
Yeah, but could someone like AC Milan go for a real marquee signing? I mean, AC Milan are stupid enough to throw money at a player like that, even though I do think he's top quality, but I'm not quite sure on James Rodriguez. Joe, Sam, what do you guys think?
Again, I kind of agree with you. I think his destinations are a bit of a struggle.
I can't see anyone in the Premier League.
No.
No, I don't see him coming to the Premier.
Probably not at this stage. I ask in football. That's good football by Tottenham.
Unless...
Great football by Tottenham.
Just the final ball. Unless, maybe if Spurs included it in the Eriksen deal to Real Madrid, that'd be potentially interesting.
That would be fun, wouldn't it? That would be a really fun move. If those two swap clubs and you got a bit of money out of Real Madrid on top, that'd be such
60
a fun
million
move.
plus James, take it.
Yeah, that would be better than actually be better than just taking cash, I think.
Daniel Levy, we are available to sort out your business all summer long.
Because I think if they just take cash, it's a really hard player to
Eurofootball
replace. But if you take James, you've got a ready-made replacement and some money.
This
Ajax. Screw your heads back on, man. Dusan, get hold of them.
Oh, but what have you made of the final? You know, the approaching the end of this game. Who do you think's gonna? Who do you think's gonna see it through?
It's so open, yeah. But it just looks like Spurs are just going to nick a goal. Like, it's got that feeling about it. It's got that feeling about it, and I don't like it. Like, the last 2 chances Ajax have had, they should have just buried to just kill the game.
Yeah, kill the game.
Either way, I think Jurgen Klopp watching this game, if he is, will not be concerned by either of this side.
Yeah, he won't.
At all. Particularly that first half Spurs, I think Liverpool would run all over them if they played like that. And then this half, Ajax have looked the most fallible I've seen them all competition. They looked really sort of comfortable.
Yeah, I agree.
In most of the games, particularly both legs against Juve, and haven't really been challenged that much in this year's Champions League.
This game reminds me a little bit of when they played Bayern Munich in the group, and they were really effective
Was that the 1-1?
at moments. Was it 1-1 or 2-1 away at Bayern Munich, I'm thinking.
I can't remember.
When they were really effective in moments, but then also super exposed. And look at Fernando Llorente.
Sorry.
Fernando Llorente is just ruining that Ajax backline.
Oh, come on.
He's so
Don't
quick,
foul him.
Lucas Moura. Here we go. Llorente.
Mad.
One on.
Well played.
Win
well
that.
played.
Oh,
well played.
It's
well
coming.
played.
It's coming.
Break now. Break.
Ref!
here we go. Play on.
Thank you. That's
I
disgusting.
think that was a bit soft.
Nah, he took him out.
Need to watch that again.
That looked really soft.
Oh, again, getting into the final third, Lucas Moura causing all sorts of damage down the right-hand side, not picking out a man.
Why are you arguing? Just get away from it and let's take the free kick.
Right, here we go.
Does he foul him?
Fouls him.
What?
I don't think he even touches
Barely
it.
touches
Okay,
it.
yeah,
I think that's a dive.
Touches it.
So, yeah, I don't like that in you, mate. If you're coming to the Prem,
That's a warning there.
I feel like Bale and Ziyech in the last 10.
Doing that again.
Snelling just put in the group chat, ref's been awful.
I don't think he has, you know.
He's even been that bad.
I think he's been
He's
alright.
been alright. That was just a bad choice.
I think that's a Snelling. 7 minutes to go, pressure on.
I can only
He's
dream
panicking.
of the voice note if Tottenham get through here that
Oh, no, I
Snelling
don't
sends
wanna hear
into
it.
that
I don't
group
want to
chat.
hear
I really
it.
don't wanna
I
hear
might
it.
The
leave.
curse has been lifted.
Do you know who's actually been poor, I think?
That is not a foul.
I think Heung-min Son's been very quiet tonight.
Yeah, he has actually.
Very quiet.
Kind of weirdly so.
Comparatively
Yeah,
to
yeah.
Llorente.
Don't
since he's
say
come.
that, because then he'll just go and bang in the final goal.
I think
just
Son
stop
played
saying
against
mad things.
Bournemouth as well. Obviously, he got sent off against Bournemouth. So maybe his confidence taking a bit of a hit there. Obviously, missed the first leg against Ajax, but he strikes me as a sort of rhythm
nice.
player, Son. Like,
Take
he's
your
played
time.
so many games this year when you put into account his international duty as well. But the rhythm that he's picked up has been remarkable. But I kind of agree with you, Joe. Hasn't really been at the races tonight.
Yeah.
Maybe time to get Lamella on last 6.
Lovely football by
Lamella's on.
Ajax.
Look at the
This
space
is
there, look at the
unreal.
space.
Lamella's already on. This is unreal football by Ajax. Yeah, Lamella's already on. by the
Take
way.
your time.
Oh,
Take
right.
your time.
Oh, good defending by
Right,
Tottenham.
here we go.
there.
Counter.
Good defending by Tottenham.
Oh, go on. Get back now.
lazy.
Get back now. Go on. Well played.
Lazy.
Right, Deli, keep up
So
the
this
pace.
is where-
Don't let them get all set. No, they're all
Go on,
set.
shift it now. Shift it
It
into that
looks like
centre
Son
area.
doesn't want it. What's he doing?
Don't know.
Right, he-
Son's drifting into the same space Llorente's occupying.
Yeah.
They need to separate a little bit.
Thames, can we have another
I
question?
think he's
from the
just
good
he's
people?
gone all out. He's
we
literally
can,
gone all out.
Big Little's asking what we think of Company's goal. So that begs the question: what do you think is the goal of the season?
Oh, but why don't you
It
take
has
this
to
one?
be Company's goal, you know.
For
That
the
was the
import- for the
maddest.
importance.
That was the maddest thing I've ever seen. Like for him to do that there, yeah.
Oh, quiet all game. I thought that was going to be typical. Son, just coming alive. Final 5.
Oh my gosh.
So you're going Company.
For him to do that, yeah. At that moment, yeah.
Sorry if you
At that time in the game where they were so anxious, you could tell City, like no one knew where the goal was going to come from. Then Company took that little step.
No,
and he
Vinny,
went,
no.
And I was like, no. And then when he banged it, it was top bins.
It was awesome. wasn't
Full
it?
on top bins. Like, nah. That was
I
a
still
quality
think
goal.
it was Andros, man.
I agree. I thought
In terms
Andros.
of
that
quality
goal
of goal,
scene, yeah.
Andros.
I also really like. Here we go.
Oh,
He's got a score!
Yes!
Oh my days!
Jan!
Oh my days!
What a save!
Oh.
Was that Onana saving it?
Yeah.
Save.
So Vertonghen had a free.
Don't come out
Oh
on
my
it!
days.
What are you doing?
What's he doing?
Vertonghen had a free header to about 2 yards out. We'll wait until it. I'll explain in a second. So we've got Ericsson on the right hand
What
side.
is he doing?
I cannot believe that.
What?
Oh! Get out, ref! He's elbowed him in his jaw.
Two massive chances for Vertonghen out to Son.
Don't let him cut in. Don't even let him on his left. Oh no!
Oh, we are going through the
Oh
ringer
my
here
day.
on EFD
What
tonight.
a save by Onana.
Oh Nana! Are you mad? Did you see that
Look at
save?
this save though.
Look at the block as well. Let's not forget the block afterwards.
Vertonghen's got a score. He's had a howler. Vertonghen, I don't even think that's a good save.
Wow.
That is an appalling miss
I think
by
the
Vertonghen.
header is a good save. The second, the
I
final.
don't
take this, fam.
I don't think he connects with it right. I think it like spins off his head and it's the bar.
Oh my.
No, but it's the fact that it dropped perfectly for whoever was it.
It was Vertonghen
Vertonghen
again.
again.
I feel like it.
He didn't get enough power on his follow through, I thought.
His header, he like goes under it. I don't know, it like spins off his head.
Gosh,
Oh
I
my
can't take
Free
this.
header, 4 yards out, probably your best.
can't
One of your
take
two
this.
best headers in the team, alongside Llorente and Alderweireld.
Oh my
You want Jan Vertonghen in there with a free header 4 yards out. Could that be it?
That was it. That was it.
felt
I'm
like
not
that
sure.
was-
No,
Mate,
it's
I'm
not.
not
There's
sure.
still minutes left, man.
But there's been a few injuries this game. I expect 3 to 4 minutes.
No, ref, don't you dare. Oh my gosh.
I'm telling you, Ajax need to wake up.
This is
They're
happening.
just going to
Just
survive.
put De
these
Jong
last
centre
few
back. No, I don't even. This is written for Llorente to score the winner. I'm telling
No, he
you.
won't
I've
do
said
that.
it, and if it happens, I'm walking out.
Probably with his elbow again. Yeah.
No, man.
But you know what would be perfect, yeah? If they score like a goal that's offside or handball, and then everyone celebrates, and then it just.
What are they
goes out.
doing? Get it in the box then.
I've just
No, they
remembered,
still got time. They
I'm
still got a few
slapping
minutes.
Chris Hamill if they score another goal as well.
Yeah,
Blimey.
you have to, and it can't be a tepid slap.
At
No,
least
no,
they're getting
I'll
something
whack
out
him.
of them.
Oh my
Mate,
goodness.
Ajax are full on panicking.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're
Temps,
just pumping it.
2 minutes to go of regular time, no injury
Yes.
time. What are the people saying?
Despite the excitement,
Come on, take your time.
Darnell wants to talk about Alexis Sanchez.
Shut up, Darnell, mate.
What is next for Alexis Sanchez?
Who cares what's next?
China.
Absolutely.
I actually think that's probably
The bin, I
just
reckon.
nothing. bloke.
There's no way he's taking a pay cut. Like,
United are going to
like-
have to subsidise 50% of his wages across the next 3 years. That's what's going to have to happen for him to get out of this club. United will subsidise 50% of his wages and he'll leave on a free. And we'll have to eat probably 15 million.
Do you remember when he played the piano when he signed for your club?
Yeah, I do.
He's probably so good at piano now.
Little do we know that serenading is going to cost us 50 million.
What's he on at the moment? Goal contribution to money-wise as well.
Oh,
Unbelievable.
in minute to money wise is pretty
hit more
outrageous.
keys
You know,
on the
every
piano,
time
though.
he starts for United, he gets 75 grand.
Ooh,
He said jog off right now, you know.
Is that what he said? So Donny van der Beek giving the ref a bit of chat. Lissandro Magalan coming on, I believe. He's played well, Donny van der Beek, in patches, but
2-2, 1 minute, 3 minutes left, something like that. Unbelievable. What an incredible game as well.
No,
I mean,
it's been
does
a-
this
it's been
feel,
a
Joe?
brilliant
Does
game.
this feel harsh on Spurs to not go through here, or do you say that first half wasn't good enough?
No, the first half was horrendous by Spurs, I thought. Maybe horrendous is a little bit harsh, but they weren't at the running, were they? They weren't at the pace at all. It took the Llorente shift off at half time. Again, Pochettino, I imagine his post match will be saying, should probably have started Llorente.
Send a bit, yeah.
Said a similar sort of thing, but with a different system, wasn't it, at home, where it's like, I should have probably started with a 4. Here, he'd probably be saying, I should have started with Llorente. Trips!
challenge.
Never in there, Trips!
That's not Trippier, that's Davies.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah. I mean,
5
when did he
minutes
come on?
extra
When
time
did
for
Ben
what?
Yeah, I love that. 5
Dan
minutes.
Rose
Come
went
on, let's have a bit more drama.
For what though? Get
Ow!
out, man! What's the
rid of
5
it,
minutes
man.
for?
Right.
Yes,
Come on,
Frankie!
come on.
Yes!
Go on,
Come on,
Dusan!
make it count,
Look at
bro.
Frankie, busted a gut!
Make it count.
Waste a
Show
bit
him
of
down,
time.
show him down.
Go on,
Make it count.
Frankie!
Challenge, Toby.
Not good enough by Dusan.
Not good
Tadic.
enough, but you.
Unbelievable fitness levels by Frankie de Jong.
I have to warn you, it was about this stage in the Man City Spurs game where I completely lost my head and shouted Rashford. So I have to warn you, anyone could be coming out of my mouth in a second. Tim, so what is, we've got about
Some of
We've got about 4 minutes left.
Doogie's like accidental, like
Sayings
slightly
and
close
stuff.
to the line. This time.
It's always good to
Earlier, you just used the word throbbing in a regular sentence.
How did I miss that?
Yeah. It's a word in my
Throbbing,
lexicon.
Role play, coming out of my mouth.
Oh,
Sorry.
come on, you're
That's what you
better
said
than
a minute
that,
ago.
Tadic,
Any man could be coming out of my mouth, you said about 10 seconds ago.
Oh my goodness, Joe. Way to lower the tone with 4 minutes left
good
of a
job
Champions
this
League
isn't
semi-final
sponsored, eh?
second leg.
I
My
can't
goodness.
take this.
If you'd like to sponsor this.
Oh, what a bad kick. Go on.
Oh my
Worked
goodness.
that well.
Oh,
Lovely.
so easy.
Right, you got time now. Drive.
Proper low block.
Yes, splendid. Love that. Mr. Reliable.
No,
What are you doing to
Hakeem!
Blind looks
What are
like
you doing?
Blind looks like he's playing in midfield now.
It does, doesn't it? Who came on a minute ago? I
Must
didn't
be
even see who
Magalan.
came on.
I don't know.
Ah, yes.
Terrible. What is that? Who played that ball? You should be ashamed of yourself.
Toby.
Temps. What are the people saying?
Yeah, we've got a question from Pippa who says, what player from the Champions League who got knocked out in the earlier rounds would you like to see more of in this competition?
Oh, Pippa.
Mbappe.
I mean, we're really dragging it back. I mean, Kingsley Coman, I'd love to see more of him. I always think he's pretty exciting. Mbappe, yeah, is a good shout.
Mbappe,
You always want to see the biggest
you wanna see
players,
them.
further in the competition. I'd like to see Dybala play a bit more in this. I'd like to see a bit of Dybala play a bit more full stop this year. I think he's only played about 25 Serie A games, and not all of them have been starts.
He's in.
so-
He's in. He's not
Uh-oh.
off. Referee's not off.
Was he on?
Uh-oh.
Beat him.
Oh!
Beat him,
Where's
Beat him.
everyone else in it?
Hakeem.
Finish it now.
Come on,
Win
come
the
on,
game!
He has to.
Win it.
Oh!
Okay, now you win, Tadic. Play him.
Why is he
Oh my gosh.
Where's the urgency?
Oh,
Where's the urgency?
Why did he set it so wide?
Right, 2.5 minutes left.
Why is it 5 minutes extra time though? Where has it come from?
I don't know.
Who's
Wanyama
gone
going
down?
off, quite a few subs.
I literally haven't got a clue where it's come from. Where has it come from? I mean,
Quite a few subs.
hats off to Tottenham for somehow still being in this game, but it looks like Ajax are going to go through now, doesn't it?
Yeah,
There's something
potentially.
Deal 2 minutes left.
I just think they'll be so disappointed with that first half. I mean, it's easy to say in hindsight, but they really weren't at the races in the first half of that first leg as well. Not really good enough from Spurs. Yes, they've had a fantastic run. Yes, they've beaten Dortmund and City, but when it's come down to it, they haven't had enough over 180 minutes to get past an Ajax side that have shown quite a lot of weaknesses, particularly in this leg.
But the thing is, Spurs can't afford to make any mistakes here. Look how high they are.
Oh, God. Here we go. Come on, let's have the finish. Oh!
Get up!
Get rid of it.
Get in there, Matthias!
Don't let him.
Put him out! No!
Oh my days.
Yes!
Oh my
God!
Come on!
The keeper up.
Don't know what's happened.
Hugo's got to be going,
He's gotta come up
hasn't he? Hugo's got to be going.
Come on, Hugo.
Hugo, you going?
I
Go on,
feel
Hugo.
sick.
Come on, mate.
This is my favourite moment in football when the keeper comes up for a corner.
This is good.
Hugo
This
looks
is
like he's
good.
pulled a hammy running up there. Get it up there then, because you've still got a minute and a half to play. Hang it up.
Oh,
Oh my God, if
Header.
Hugo scores.
no.
Hey, Llorente. Not good by
Good
Fernando.
defending. Good
Llorente,
defending.
what are you doing?
They look knackered.
defending.
Get back in
Absolutely
position now.
glowing,
1
yeah.
minute left. Come on.
None of that short out the back nonsense.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he's throwing the chewing out of his mouth.
Yeah,
Poch
he's
is angry. He's angry.
Vertonghen's got
That's
the look
it,
of a
man.
man that
That's
knows
game over.
he had those
That was the
two
chance.
chances for Vertonghen.
Oh my
They'll come
days.
back to rue that header from about 3-4
Those
yards.
two
What was all this
chances.
delays as well?
Those two
Onana's
chances
getting a
by
yellow.
the header for Jan Vertonghen,
Wolfgang
6 yard
up to
out,
now?
absolutely had to hit the.
Onana
had to hit the back of
though.
the net.
My guy,
He's
fam.
made some great saves, mate. He's made some great
Don't
saves.
play out the back.
Yeah, we did a podcast on best under-23 players this season, and Onana was our keeper. He's been absolutely incredible. Really good on the ball as well.
So-
Averages more passes per game in the Champions League than Edison. Which
He's
is quite
so
surprising.
quick off his line as
Yeah,
well.
he's
He's
rapid.
so
He is a little bit rash,
He
but
is
I
a
think that's
little
just
bit,
his
yeah,
age. I
yeah.
think that's just. I think
He's
he'll
still
learn.
learning. He's still
Well
learning.
played.
I tell you-
Well played.
Last 10 minutes, De Jong has been great. He's just suddenly been everywhere, Frankie De Jong.
He needed to be.
Get up, Matthias!
Here we go. Yeah. Oh my days.
Don't slip, don't
No.
slip.
Oh my days. Spurs are through.
I can't believe
I
it.
don't believe it! Lucas Moura's got a hat-trick! The ref at VAR's just celebrating!
I'm going to slap Chris
I
Hamill in the face.
can't believe it! I don't believe what I'm seeing
What
right
a
now!
moment.
Ajax are going out! 95th minute, Lucas Moura hat-trick!
Fair play.
Incredible. And
Fair
there we were
play.
telling Pochettino to bring him off at half-time. What do we know? 3-2
How are Spurs in the final?
They're going through on away goals. It's going to be an all-English final for the first time since 2008.
Absolutely unbelievable.
The greatest half-time substitution, arguably Champions League history.
Right, so this year's Champions League, we've had Man United, PSG, we've had Juventus coming back against Atletico, we've had Ajax's journey, we've had Liverpool, Barcelona, and now Spurs versus Ajax coming back from 3 goals down at half-time.
Such a good finish by Moura, man. And the flick by Dele Alli, by the way, is outrageous.
Is that a De
Takes a little bit of a De Ligt deflection.
I feel so bad for Ajax.
I can't believe it.
I cannot.
Look at Pochettino.
Pochettino's fallen to his knees. His heart's. Oh my God. I cannot believe what we're witnessing here.
Spurs and Liverpool, the miracle men. Who would have, I mean, both teams down and out.
What on earth are we witnessing here?
Lucas Moura.
De Ligt and De Jong know it as well.
Why does the ref play that though? What is this 5 minutes about? I'm telling you, that needs to be some sort of conspiracy in that. Because there was no reason for there to be 5 minutes extra time.
Oh my God. This.
Oh, I feel sick.
I can't believe what I'm witnessing.
I'm telling you, this is scripted. This is all scripted.
Look at Ajax.
Look at Ajax's lineup.
Look at Ajax's lineup. This is insane.
That is mad.
That is mad.
Oh no.
Wow. Okay,
Right,
this is going to be
stay
crazy.
Stay back. Everyone stay back. Win this header. Win it.
Get up, Matt.
Yes, and away.
Ref's not looking at his watch.
Oh my God, what are they doing? Ref!
It's not the time for that. It's not the time for that. Dele, play that out.
What is he doing, Dele?
Oh, it's a throw-in.
What is Dele doing?
I can't look at the iPad.
What
It's
is
gonna-
Dele
it's gonna
doing?
ruin it.
He has to get rid of that.
Mid.
How has Dele not got either a
This
foul?
literally must be last play. 7 minutes 20 on the clock.
Have they got a long
5
throw
minutes of extra
specialist?
time. Oh, tag
Who's
it.
taking it?
Is it Magellan or? Oh, it's Veltman. I don't know how long.
Throw it in, Veltman!
Get this away. Get this away. Get it away.
That's it. Clear it. That's it.
Ref's
You're in the
on
Champions League final. Clear it. That's unreal by Lamella. That is not, though, awful by Lamella.
Lamella away.
Get out!
That's all right. Okay, counter. Maybe get another one. Why not?
The ref's
Oh my
slowing, the
God.
ref's
It's
slowing.
4 versus
He's going to blow his
2.
whistle.
It's 4 versus 2.
Corner. Get
Play
it
for
in the corner.
Play
Get
for
it in the corner, Musa.
Nice play. Love it. Free kick. Love it. No.
That's it. That's it.
Down.
Yeah! Final. I do not believe what I've just seen.
Spurs versus Liverpool for the Champions League final. Spurs were 2-0
can't
down in
believe
this
that.
game. Absolutely remarkable. 3 goals from Lucas Moura.
Let's go.
Obaseki, can you believe,
Can't believe
it?
this.
Spurs Champions League final.
Do you know what I'm about to do? Live on the stream. I'm going to FaceTime Sonny Snelling.
He might not have language appropriate.
I don't care.
Oh, I cannot believe this. So back-to-back nights, we've seen Liverpool come back from...
Hi, Sonny.
Sonny!
What are you saying?
He said I'm too emotional.
Where's your dad?
Where's your dad? Yeah. Hey, get in there, Mr. Snelling. Oh my
That's
God.
brilliant.
Absolutely delighted.
What a result!
Oh, fair play. They're in the final. Well done, well done. All right, I've just
Oh.
ended the call because it's just going mad.
I think Mr. Snelling thought that was it. I thought he was sort of permanently on the live stream for a second there. But who can believe that? Spurs through to the final against Ajax. Oba, initial reaction. You seem stunned.
I can't believe it, bro.
You seem gutted.
I
actually.
said I'm gutted.
He's crying. Oh my God.
If they don't take them chances, there was a goal cut. That 5 minute extra time, that is a conspiracy.
Pochettino's
Poch-
in tears.
Pochettino's-
I feel Poch though, man. I feel him.
Wow,
That's it, I feel
wow,
him. I
wow,
can't lie.
wow.
Flipping it.
What are the most epic Champions League game,
double-
probably?
Why are we good luck?
two
Why are we
semi-finals?
good luck charms for Spurs?
I
What's
know,
going
mate.
on?
I don't know what's happening.
What's going
Make
on?
sure you two are watching the final.
Yeah. Also, if you've just tuned into this stream, please make sure you subscribe to Eurofootball Daily. We guarantee drama like this every single time. Make sure you
Guaranteed.
hit that
Guaranteed.
notification bell
We
as
are
well
in control.
to never miss a video. Cannot believe it. We've got Liverpool versus Spurs in the Champions League final.
Next.
Joe, your initial thoughts, if you can make sense of it. Who's your favourites going into that?
Liverpool are the favourites, but just to touch on this game, the most remarkable half-time change by Pochettino, shifting Llorente central, bringing Son White, unbelievable. He's got every
Wasn't
right
forced, to be fair.
be in tears at the full-time whistle, and he is. This Tottenham team, to do this is absolutely remarkable. To do this and get to a final without Harry Kane, the key man up front is nothing short of a miracle. Poch has got to a Champions League final, spending no money in 2 seasons with a haphazard team containing Moussa Sissoko in central midfield with no key striker. He's a miracle worker, the best coach in the world football right now.
Also, you forget moving into a new stadium halfway through that, living at Wembley for over a year, stadium delays, a lot of fans sort of anger at the whole sort of stadium move, how it all went. Awful Premier League form as well. They'd won 3 of their previous 11 Premier League games. They lost to Bournemouth at the weekend with 9 men. They lost to West Ham before that. Now they beat Ajax, probably the form team in the tournament so far. 3-2 away from home to go through on away goals. It beggars belief, really. And what a final we have in store in Madrid in a couple of weeks' time. Absolutely cannot believe it.
Wow.
I mean, Temps, what are the, is there any point?
I'm not even looking, it's just gone a bit mad.
Wow.
Look how composed Christian Eriksen looks.
He's trying to be inside, he's melting.
I can't believe we've beat yesterday's game. I feel like we've beaten yesterday's game with this fixture.
I'm rattled.
Because no one saw this coming at half time.
This is the best 2 semi-finals potentially
100%.
ever.
I think it's the best Champions League of all time. We just need a final to top it off. I cannot remember this amount of drama. I can't remember this amount of upset. You know, even players acting, you know, sort of letting themselves down in many ways. Sergio Ramos with his yellow card, who remembers that? Di Maria getting a lot of abuse at Old Trafford. Suarez celebrating against his former club. There's just been so many storylines in this competition.
Right. Great underlying storyline. George Wright's just brought to my attention. Unai Emery, current Arsenal manager, sold Lucas Moura to Tottenham Hotspur, and it's Lucas Moura of Tottenham Hotspur that puts them into the Champions League final.
Has yours gone negative
that
on Arsenal on this?
Exceptional.
How has he managed
That is
that?
brilliant. Just bringing it back on the
Bring
Emery
it
bitch
full
thing.
circle
He
to
always
prove
makes it
Emery
about
yet
us,
another
doesn't he?
Emery failure.
Moura's got such a good luck charm about him.
Yeah.
He's just a good guy, man.
He's really stepped up this year.
You wanted to take him off at half time.
No, you two
that was
wanted
I
to.
did.
I was it you?
I didn't. I thought he was.
Although we all agreed that Llorente had to come on.
Yeah, 100%. And it made sense.
Yeah, I actually didn't at the time, but I did absolutely prove wrong. But
Flip's
in
sake.
many ways, I don't know what. It's a benefit of hindsight.
Do
When
you know
Yarma doesn't get injured, do they change it? Do they bring Llorente
Yeah.
on? They obviously drop Eriksen back. He got more onto the ball. Trippier suddenly looked like a man sort of rejuvenated that second half, really getting into dangerous areas on the right-hand side. Danny Rose, I thought, had a good game. And then Ajax's threat level just evaporated in that second half.
Totally.
I mean, where were they, really? Except for a few flurries late on, there was just nothing consistent.
Hakim Ziyech had the chances to put the game to bed, though. Had the chances to put the game to bed. He is the one Ajax player that probably will think, you know, it wasn't really good enough from me today.
But I mean, fair play to this team. Fair play to Erik ten Hag. They've gone way beyond what anyone expected. They obviously got through a group including Bayern Munich. They then beat Real Madrid away at the Bernabeu. They dismantle Juventus. They beat Spurs away from home. And they've had a shocking 45 minutes of football at home to Spurs. And they're a good side, and they'll come again. But you just worry for them this summer about who they can hold on to. Maybe this is the peak of this Ajax side. Whereas Spurs, it doesn't even feel like this is Spurs' best side of the last 2 years, and yet they've reached the Champions League final. I don't really understand what's gone on.
That's why you just have to rate Poch, because he's just able to get the best out of his bunch of players. Man.
Definitely in the discussion.
I cannot believe that they gave 5 minutes.
You know what I'm thinking?
I can't believe
Still
it.
going on about the 5 minutes over
There
it.
was no reason. If you can tell me why there was any reason
Substitution.
Mate, there was quite a few
Injuries.
free kicks.
Nah,
I
5 minutes.
don't
that
think
was-
there's
Goals.
I don't
30
think-
seconds per
Also,
goal.
lads,
Tottenham scored all of
potential,
theirs in the second
potential all-English Europa League final, potential all-English Champions League final.
half. I can't believe it.
Football's
Sam,
coming
you
out.
Right.
guys-
But you know
I
what
can't
happens
wait for
when we
this.
get expectations?
I can't wait
You're
for
going to
this.
lose to Valencia, we'll lose to Frankfurt. bro.
Yeah,
You know what's going to happen?
100%.
I will bet you any money Harry Kane is fit for the final.
Oh, 100%.
Understand.
Harry
Injections.
Kane will play in that final if it means
He'll cut
he
his
never
leg,
plays
yeah.
another game in his life.
Yeah.
He'll cut his
Potentially
leg
to the
off and
detriment
replace
of
it
his
with
own
someone.
side as well. But we shall see. Temps, what are they saying? We've got to get some questions.
I mean, there's a question I got earlier from Twitter, but it's obviously relevant now as well after this. It's about the dominance of the English teams in Europe. And also, this is the first time in, I think, is it 8 seasons we haven't had a La Liga team in the final?
True that.
Yeah,
True that.
I mean, La Liga have won every single one, haven't they, since 2013?
Since
in both
2013,
competitions?
exactly, yeah.
Are we seeing a major shift in Europe at the moment?
I think what you're seeing is the result of having the best coaches
Best
in world
coach, best
football.
management,
Still don't think we have the best players, but you get consistently good coaches and give them a period of time. And in Pep, Klopp, and Poch in particular, we've got probably 3 of the 5 best managers in world football. Can't really think who would sort of get in there amongst them. So yeah, you're seeing the result of great coaching. We've got a great generation of English talent coming through. I think they've signed really well. And just in general, yeah, I think Liverpool's an example of great signing, great coaching. Spurs, an example of fantastic coaching. And then Arsenal and Chelsea, I think, have got lucky with some poor Europa League competition this year, if I'm totally honest. But we shall see. We shall see. I mean, Sam, what's your take on it? English talent or management?
Management, definitely management. We've got the best managers in the world in the Premier League, man.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and money. Yeah, James makes a good point. Money. We have
and the money. I mean, you saw the other day that English teams, for a Premier League winner as opposed to Eredivisie winner, you get 10 times the amount of money available for TV rights, which is just ridiculous.
Michael McIntyre just giving it big licks.
Michael McIntyre's a Spurs fan.
I didn't know that either.
There's one of my lookalikes, bottom left.
His kids had the same hair as him. Did you notice that?
Yeah. Going with the old curtains.
Pochettino. Well. Let's get Pochettino in for an interview. I really want to see Pochettino's reaction.
Doesn't Des Kelly look after himself well for a man of his age as well?
I genuinely love Poch.
Same, man.
Like so much. Look at this man. He's a proper coach. Manager, yeah, man.
God, is he one game away from leaving Spurs though?
I genuinely don't even know who I'd rather win.
Obviously Tottenham every day.
I can't see. Tottenham can't win it. Not for me.
You want Liverpool to win the Champions League?
I can't. Tottenham can't win the Champions League.
If Tottenham win the Champions League before Arsenal, that would be a travesty.
Yeah, can you imagine?
Why?
Can you imagine?
They haven't won it. They've been in a competition 20 years in a row. Remember when they had that record? And now they're literally sinking in Europa.
This must be Spurs'
Look at this. Does it take a deflection off the league? I think maybe it takes a little.
I think De Ligt can get a bit tighter.
It's just outright. But again, it's Llorente dealing with De Ligt. Look at Llorente here. Strength. Awesome. This ball there.
That's
great.
A lovely ball from Dele as well. Oh. What a finish from Lucas Moura.
Oh my gosh.
And was it his second goal as well with a great feet inside the box? Lucas Moura has just shown that he is a top-class finisher tonight. I actually don't think he probably had his best game on the ball, but when the moment came in and around the box, he was deadly. He was absolutely lethal.
I just love watching the people in the background's reaction. Look at Toby, man. If you're a Tottenham fan, tonight is the best night of your life. You've just won away in a Champions League semi, and you're out on the piss in Amsterdam. Yeah. Tonight could not get any sweeter for Tottenham fans.
It's a great city to be in.
I've decided I'm going to shave my head again like Lucas Moura as well.
And the cherry on top of the cake is Doogie has to full-on slap Chris Hamill round the face tomorrow morning.
You actually have to do this.
Do you know what's going to be wild? We're going to be at the FBAs tomorrow night. Sonny is going to get off his base.
Oh, wow.
I think Mr. Snelling's coming too, by the sound of things as well. Full-on member of Football Daily.
You know, with that final goal, I feel like De Ligt had a moment where he could have got that ball, but he hesitated because he didn't want to give away a pen. But no one predicted for him to take that shot that early.
Tottenham-Liverpool final.
Who would have predicted that at the start of the competition?
Tottenham-Liverpool final in Madrid.
Absolutely mental. Also, remember that Spurs were minutes away from going out in the group stages. Liverpool only went through on a benefit of head-to-head. They had the same amount of points as Napoli. Finished second behind PSG. And then they've really come alive in the last 16. Obviously, Liverpool then beat Bayern, then beat Porto, then Barcelona, now the final. Spurs have beaten Dortmund, and then who was their quarter-final? Obviously Man City, and now Ajax. So they, from two teams nearly going out in the group stages, I mean, fair play to both of them. Now they're in the final with the chance, Liverpool with the chance of their 6th ever European crown, Spurs with their first. I think this will be their first European final as well. So just remarkable, really.
I'm lost for words. If you're new to the channel, make sure you click subscribe because it's this reaction every week.
We need to update the metadata on this.
I reckon wrap it up there, Deuce.
Should we give it? Yeah, that's it. Okay, so thank you very much for watching tonight. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe to EuroFootball Daily. We bring this sort of drama all the time. It is relentless goals in the Champions League this year. Thank you very much to Sam.
Thanks, man.
Joel,
thanks for having me.
Bye.
Temps, and we shall see you next time. Thanks very much, guys.
See you later, gang.
Bye.